What's going on, YouTube? What's going on, family? As you all know, your boy is back and I got an interesting one for you. So in this video, I did a 3-day intensive challenge. It was called the Family Legacy Challenge. Talked about some really good points on things that you probably have never heard of, some points on how to build a family business, how to actually build a single office or single family office. These are things that most people do not talk about in the space of our culture, right? And so I really went in more depth on a lot of the principles, a lot of the strategies in regards to getting your family business started. And if you already have an existing business, how to kind of wrap it up in a family business structure. So I want you to go ahead and check that out. This video, I believe I don't remember how long the video is, but I want you to go ahead and check it out because this video is really good. We literally just got done with this challenge and I'm excited for you all to actually watch it. So watch it and check it out.
All righty, look, I don't know about y'all. I was over here singing and jamming. That's why I had my camera off. I didn't want y'all seeing my bad dancing skills. But everyone, if you can, go ahead and make sure you turn on your camera. We will love to see all of those pretty faces. And while you're at it, go ahead and also drop in the chat where you all are tuning in from. All right. We want to make sure that we know and where everyone is tuning in from. So like I said, go ahead and turn your cameras on for us. Go ahead and drop in the chat where you all are tuning in from today. OK. So we got some people from Maryland. I see Mr. Keith with his camera on. We got Tracy from Chicago. I literally just left Chicago. I got back this morning. That's crazy. Go ahead and turn your cameras on and drop in the chat where you all are tuning in from. Go ahead. We got somebody from Hawaii. We got somebody from Barnesville, Georgia. I love it. See, that's how you know in the smaller cities like Barnesville, you got to put the state next to it just so people know where you're talking about. But I love it. I love it. South Carolina. What are you all expecting from this 3-day challenge, right? Obviously, you all have seen us before and have seen a lot of our content before if you're on this challenge, right? But what is your number one expectation or what is the biggest thing that you want to take away from this 3-day event, from this 3-day challenge where, trust me, you all are going to learn a lot, probably more than you expected. But go ahead and drop in the chat, what is the biggest thing you're expecting to learn or the number one thing you want to learn from this workshop? I want everybody to go ahead and make sure that they're answering this question, right? Because we already know what we're going to talk about, but getting what you all want to know up front will also help us add that information so you all are able to get every single thing. So like I said, for those who are just now joining in, go ahead and turn your cameras on, right? I only see Mr. Keith with his camera on. We always do something special for the people who give the most energy and have their camera on pretty much the entire time. We always do a special gift. So if you want to get into that special gift, right, go ahead and turn your cameras on, all right? Turn your cameras on. We love to see those pretty faces, and we don't like talking to names, right? Just like how we like talking to people face to face. I know it's virtual. I'm pretty sure you all like talking to people face to face. So if you can, please turn your camera on and go ahead and drop in the chat what is the number one thing you want to learn or your biggest expectation for this event. So somebody said the blueprint for setting up and moving forward was setting up a trust and creating generational wealth. I love it. I love it. Right now, there is no wrong answer out here, right? Because everything is unique to you and what your legacy or your family is, right? But go ahead and drop in the chat, what are you all looking for through this event? So somebody said they're looking for funding. Somebody said how to set up my family in private. Okay, I like that. Somebody said all of the above. They're like, I want everything that everybody said up top, all right? So look, like I said earlier, if you can, turn your cameras on because we always like to do something special for the person who has their camera on the most, who is most engaged, who asks the most questions, the most genuine questions, not just asking questions to ask questions, obviously, right? But during this process, right, I'm a big person on making sure that when you all are learning these things, right, when you all are educating yourselves or when you're being educated by somebody, the mind is only meant to remember so much, right? It's literally not meant to remember everything. There's a reason why there are very few people who have photographic memory, and even those people still don't remember everything, okay? Your brain has to assign an important reason as to why you have to remember something. So if you're not assigning an important reason to every single thing you're learning here, which truth be told, that'll still be difficult to do. You are not going to remember everything. So I'm a big person on note taking. I always say note taking is money making. All right. Information without implementation is idiocy. So while you're taking these notes, make sure you're actually implementing the information that we're giving you as well. So if you don't already, right, grab a pen and paper, grab an iPad, grab a computer, grab a desktop, use your phone. It doesn't matter, but please make sure you all are taking notes. Okay. And that does not mean you have to take notes on every single thing we say, take notes on the thing that resonates with you the most, because everybody on here, although we're all pretty much looking for a synonymous goal, right? The path in which we're going to get there and even the overall end goal looks different for every single person, and we're all in different parts of the journey. Okay. So with that being said, take notes on what is important to you. Okay. Everyone drop a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. Drop a 1 in the chat if taking notes for what's important to you and your journey makes sense to you. Okay. Because like I said, it's not a taking notes on every single thing that we say, because like I said earlier, it's going to be a lot of information. Okay. But take notes on the things that are important for you in your journey now and the next steps in your journey. Okay. Now, one more question before we get started. All right. Does anyone in here already have a business or an LLC? Go ahead and drop a 3 in the chat if you have a business or an LLC already. All right. And like I said, the people who engage the most, who have their cameras on, who show the most energy, right? We are going to make sure that we do something special for you at the end. Right. So if you want to be that person who, and depends on how we feeling, right? Sometimes it might be, hold up. Tosh said, hold up now. Y'all said y'all doing something special. Look, she came on with a smile. She said, "Ooh, I'm already winning. I'm showing my face." But now I see Ashonique, I see Mr. Keith got their cameras on as well. But like I said, drop a 3 in the chat if you already have a business or an LLC, right? Now that LLC can be something that you bought way back when, right? Hopefully you should still be paying on it. But let's just say you're not using it, you haven't used it, or you're rethinking your idea, but you still have an active one, that counts. Drop a 3 in the chat, that's you. All right. If you have an active one, a non-active one that you still pay on, look, as Shanique said, yeah, that's me. That's me right there. And she raised her hand. Yeah, let's see. Look, raise the hand. All right. So it's okay if you don't already have a business, right? Simply because we're just trying to gauge where you all are at. Okay. So without further ado, I want everyone to go ahead and unmute themselves and tell me how excited you all are for this event.
Woo!
All right?
Very excited.
I need everybody to unmute themselves.
Let's go.
No, I'm excited.
All the way live.
Excitement.
Very excited.
Trust
Wait to start. Yes. Shut up.
I don't know if that was loud enough. I'm sorry. I didn't feel the energy. I didn't get goosebumps. Okay, so we're gonna try this one more time. On the count of 3, I'm going to ask. On the count of 3, I want you all to all unmute yourself, and I want you all to tell me how excited you are for this 3-day event, for all the information that you're going to learn. Right, all those things that you all said, that what you're looking to learn, building your family business. I need you to have the same excitement now as if it's already here. So on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
Woo! Make money,
I'm so excited.
All day, yes sir, yes sir.
Let's go.
24/7.
Okay, that was better. That was better.
Yes sir, yes sir. Hey, am I coming clear on the end over there?
All right, well, look, like I said, make sure you all have your pen and papers ready. And if you haven't already, just go ahead and drop in the chat where you're tuning in from. This amazing 3-day workshop is going to really change you all's mind. All right. So before we even really get into anything, I want to make sure that you all are keeping an open perspective and an open mind, because you all will hear things that will blow your mind and be like, I didn't know that was possible. And then you all will also hear things that will contradict years and years, if not decades, of things that you've been taught. OK, but think about it. If the information that you've learned is also accessible to the masses, and the masses is not at the level in which you want to be currently, but the people who are at those levels aren't doing those things, obviously the things that we've been taught for decades, something must be flawed in it. Something must be wrong, right? So keep an open mind when hearing this information, because it really is going to be like, wow, like I didn't know that was possible. I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it right now, right? You're going to be like, I didn't know that was possible. I didn't know they did that. I didn't know that you could have a family bank. I didn't know that working with your family is better than not, right? Because we've always been taught that don't work with your family. Y'all always going to argue. Y'all can't never agree on nothing. Y'all ain't never going to get nothing done, right? Wrong, right? Working with your family is the best way to really build generational wealth. How are you going to build generational wealth and not include your generation? How are you going to build a family business and not include your family, right? It's not trying to get up there by yourself. It's trying to get up there together. And I'm going to tell you a quick story before we tune in, right? And then I'm going to go ahead and introduce the next speaker. It was, and it's a very, very simple story. I can't remember the class, but let's just say it's at MIT, right? Which is one of the top technical and engineering colleges in the nation. And this professor, he has a lot of students in his class, but the majority are of Asian descent and Black and African descent, right? And what he's realizing is he's like, okay, this is like a hard class. It's basically something like rocket science. So he's seeing that, okay, I know this is a hard class, but I see that my Asian students are performing well, but I see that my Black students aren't performing well. And he's asking questions to the class like, okay, well, why is this set of people doing well and this set of people aren't? Right. And somebody raises their hand and says, okay, well, maybe the Black kids aren't smart enough. And he's like, no, because you couldn't be in this position unless you had that knowledge and had that acumen to basically get to where you are. So what he basically did, what he studied, and he was like, he gave them another assignment. And what he did was he monitored both the Asian students and the Black students. And from there, what he realized is that Asian students studied together while the Black students studied separately, right? Now, why am I saying this, right? Because oftentimes us as a culture, us as a people, we have been taught to do things alone, do things separately, do things without your family, by yourself. Oh, let's not work in group projects because I don't want my grade in somebody else's hand. Let's not work with our family because I'm tired of cousin Keisha or cousin Pookie because they always get on my nerves and they don't do nothing right, all right? So what they have done is they have over generations, it hasn't just been a short-term thing here, right? Over generations, they have continuously taught us that if we work, our culture works together better separately rather than together when it's truly the opposite. And there's a reason they started doing that is because they saw the power of when we started working together, when we started working as a community, we actually started getting the results that we actually needed. All right. So if you are ready to start your family business, I need everybody to go ahead and drop a 2 in the chat right now. If you're ready to start including your family, start making that generational wealth, start getting that knowledge that we are usually last to get and start getting it first, right? If you are ready, go ahead and drop a 2 in the chat for me, right? And I need to see that. I don't care if you drop another 2. You didn't already put one in, put another one in, right? Because I need you all to be on the same energy level that I'm on, right? Because one thing that I do not want is by the end of these 3 days that you all have not gotten at least one thing. First of all, Moa is like, I'm zoned in. Okay. But I don't want that at the end of these 3 days that you all have not been able to get at least one thing that is actually changing what you all are going to do for you, your family and your family's legacy. All right. So like I said, without further ado, I want to go ahead and introduce one of my co-founders. Now, this is somebody who is literally my brother, quite literally, right? But it's more than just saying my brother, right? Because there are a lot of people who have brothers and sisters and siblings, but they aren't close, right? This is somebody who has mentored me, although we're only 2 years apart, right? Has made sure that as we've grown up, I stray away from obviously the things that I shouldn't be doing. And this is somebody that not only has done that and has been a form of a protector for me, but someone who's also been a role model and has shown me what to do as a person, as an individual, and even as a man at times. So without further ado, I would love to introduce my brother, Marcus Turner. Marcus, are you there?
I am here. Can everyone see me?
Yes, sir. What's up, Marcus?
While we're waiting on Marcus to go ahead and get that situated, I want anyone to go ahead and unmute themselves. And I know I asked you all to do it earlier in the chat, but tell me what you're looking for in this 3-day challenge. Go ahead and unmute yourself. You can be anybody and just tell us what you're looking for. One of the things you're expecting or wanting to get out of this challenge over the next 3 days. No one knows what they want to get out of here?
I'm looking to get more information and clarification on things that I think that I know, but possibly may not know it the correct way.
Like what exactly? Just give me an example.
As in the structuring my business and what steps to take first to actually prepare myself to introduce it to my family.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I like that. All right, somebody else unmute themselves and tell me what you're looking for on this 3-day challenge, right? Whether it's replacing confusion with clarity, like Miss Neek just said, right? Whether that is something else, go ahead and unmute yourself and tell us something that you're looking at.
I would like more of a blueprint and some clarity on how to really function through a trust and like allowing my business. I know the steps, but I just feel like I need that extra push to actually get everything going. Because I feel like I have so much information, but it's all been like pieced together, but an actual blueprint of like how to really go forward.
Okay, I like that. You'll definitely get that. Trust me. We're going to be going over a very, very detailed view of the blueprint on how to start from scratch if you haven't started before, or what goes into it, the meetings that need to be had, the family members that should be included in some of those meetings, so on and so forth.
I would like to have a business where me and my boy can rinse and repeat. Once we learn it, we can keep rinsing and repeating it.
I like that. I like that. So basically, just a proven strategy that
There you go.
and then it just works every single time. If it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Next level.
For me, at the end of the 3 days, I feel like I'm already in there. Like I already created a business, but I don't know how to mesh everything together. Like the trust, the holding, pretty much putting everything together. Like I already went through and got a business already, LLC. But the thing about me is I got something, but I don't know how to work with it. Like I understand the value that's there, but the way that you guys are explaining it, where everything kind of meshes together, that's where I need to get to. I need to figure that out for myself and my fams, and that's kind of like my goal for the end of the 3 days. I appreciate y'all.
Man, I love it. I love it. We appreciate you, man. I appreciate it. I like that though. So basically, you have all the pieces. You just need that one glue to basically hold it all together and keep it in place properly. I got you, Marcus. Are you good?
Yeah, we good?
Still hear the noise, honestly.
All right, I'm gonna turn it off and turn it back on, or come out and come back in.
Marcus, that might be your mic.
Mic?
Yes.
Right.
Yeah,
So,
mic is
all right, let me switch mics then.
Again, guys, we apologize for the technical difficulties. We be on Zoom all day, literally. So for this to be happening right now, but we are super duper excited because I'm excited because whoever is the most engaging during this process will be the runner, the person that is literally going to receive the free trust that we're going to be handing out. I said I was going to do it, and I promised you I was going to do it, and I'm going to give one away. And because Ashwanique got 3 trusts. No, you got 1 trust. Which trust do you have? You have the ministry trust, right?
Yes, ma'am. You almost made me excited, honey.
I'm sorry. But I was so excited that you sat up here and got a trust. So currently, right now, she was a part of our Trust Week. And Ashwanique, how was Trust Week for you?
It was awesome. It was awesome.
What was your biggest takeaway from our Trust Week last week?
That I need to get a grantor.
So you're having a better understanding of what you need to do now.
Yes,
and you're not walking blind.
Not at all.
Okay, because that's what's important. We got to have a better understanding. So the person who says iPad, can you say what your name is? Because I want to make sure that I am, I did it. Ralph, where are you? Ralph, you supposed to be on here. What is going on, Ralph? Get your butt on this live. Ralph is on Instagram and he's not on here. Ralph, you supposed to be on here on a Zoom. Okay. All right. So I am super duper excited because again, I can't wait till tomorrow as Marcus is working on the mic. I can't, because I'm almost out of breath because I'm so excited, guys. You guys have no idea. We're dealing with a pending situation. Okay. We'll make sure it's resent. I'll resend it. Give me 2 seconds because I know it went out. It definitely went out, Ralph. Check your spam. Okay. What I'm excited about and what we need to have cause for pause super quick. Who has an LLC? Drop it inside of the chat. Who currently has an LLC? And then the next thing I want you to drop in the chat is how many actual LLCs you actually have. Okay? Because see, this Corporate Transparency Act is coming in full effect. Okay, it's okay, Sue Ellen, that you have a new one. Okay. Now, Sue Ellen, Jeremiah, I want to make sure, please don't be upset with me, is that a female name or a male name? Is it 2 people? Sue Ellen, Jeremiah? I just want to make sure I'm clear because I don't want to be messing somebody up. Okay, I have 2 in my family that we're using. Okay, all right. Please make sure, because guys, as we get prepared for tax season, okay, Miss Sue Ellen, thank you so much, because Jeremiah didn't know if that was a first name or a last name. So thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are trying to make sure that you guys are ready, okay? You guys need to be ready because they are really trying to crack down. I literally got a letter today asking about from the Georgia Department of Revenue, Individual Audit Discovery Unit. What does it say on this letter? It says, why are you getting this letter? A record show a return may be required but has not been filed for a particular tax year. Now, mind you, you got 3 years on a business side. You can take a moment to file on the personal side. But they trying, now this is for the state though, okay? But they trying to get that tax money because everybody's doing all these LLCs. They trying to get this tax money. So what I'm trying to get you guys ready for is how to handle. So we're going to have, I got a bigger surprise for you guys. We got 2 guest speakers that are going to be on just for you guys this week. We have a CPA and a trust specialist that's going to be on. Our new one, Tony Simon, is going to be on with you guys tomorrow. So when I say we're going to get you guys straight, we're going to get you guys straight. And we have an attorney that is going to be with us on Wednesday. And that's dealing with the business. Yes, we can hear you, son. You good to go? You ready to go?
We good. Finally, we ready. You know how many
You ready to give it to him? You ready to go? Look at, okay, wait a minute. Now, Wahine Kiwana. Girl, I need you to unmute so we can make sure we got this name right. Okay?
It's the fact.
Yes, it's Wahine. Wahine Kekuana.
What? Girl?
Wahine.
Wahine Kawana.
Wahine. For short, Wahine is perfect.
Wahine Kekuana Kuwegu. That's from Hawaii. Yeah, malo sis.
Aloha. Aloha. Guys, we got folks all the way from Hawaii on here. Aloha. Okay.
I'm from Samoa, y'all.
Okay. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. They people of color too. All right.
That's like 5 hours south of Hawaii.
Right. You guys are about 6 hours behind. So it is 2:30 and 3:30 their time. So this shows to get you guys to understand. We help everybody, okay? So I want to go ahead and turn it over to the man of the hour who's going to lay it down that I'm going to be presenting tomorrow, okay? But you guys got to be active if you are interested in winning this trust. You have to be active. Cameras have to be on. We want you to ask the questions that are pertinent to you because we are going to lay it down for you guys so you can be prepared for the beginning of the year. None other than Mr. Markus Turner, our chart slayer, our operations. Take it away, son.
Yo, she still says chart slayer, and I don't even be trading like that no more. That's crazy.
You still trade. You still chart slayer. Look, we would have 300-400 people online with us trading with us because that's how we was getting down. So don't be trying to discount the fact that you're a killer trader. Don't do that to yourself.
That's crazy.
Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. All right, because I'm gonna bring up the picture to show everybody.
Nah, I think we can move forward. I get it. You know what? I got you. Yeah, I'm chart slayer today. There we go. Just so we don't have to pull up the photo. We'll be good, right? Let me ask you all a question real quick, though. Let me ask you all a question. I know you said that I heard a lot of different responses of, oh, I would like to learn how to mesh all the corporations and trust together. I heard you want to learn about funding. I heard you wanted to learn about the LLC stuff, the corporate transparency stuff. There was a lot of things that I heard. Do you mind if I answer all of those today? Now, I'm a visual learner, okay? So I'm gonna actually bring out my handy dandy screen real quick because I'm one of those people that I'm one of those people we gotta actually see what we're looking at, right? So I'm gonna call somebody up real quick. So put a 2 in the chat if you have LLCs. Let's first do that. Put a 2 in the chat if you have LLCs. I'm gonna check this out real quick. Okay, well, there's a lot of y'all. All right, so we got 2 all throughout. Now I'm gonna call on one person that put the 2s, and I want you to tell me how your corporations are. Okay, I'm gonna pick at random. Let's see. You know what? The person who already got the trust, we might as well do it from somebody who has a trust already. Asha, you mind if we call on you real quick?
No.
Bless us with your presence.
No, I'm ready.
Okay, so let me go ahead and switch over real quick to boom. Can y'all see my screen? So Ashwini, this is what I want you to do. I would like for you to tell me all of your LLCs. Every corporation, if you have land, if you have real estate, if you have anything, I want you to just tell me what you have.
I have a LLC, and I have 2 vehicles.
2 vehicles.
And
1 LLC?
Yeah, 1 LLC that's active, and then tomorrow I'm opening an LLC that'll be brand new.
Okay. Anything else? Any you got a house?
Nope,
You got
not yet.
no house? All right, cool. You got any land?
Not yet.
All right, that's why. Okay, not yet.
Not yet.
So this is what you have right now. 2 vehicles. Do you have any valuables? Any jewelry? Any what else? We have any brokerage accounts? Any IRAs, 401ks, any of those things?
No, sir.
Okay, cool. So this is what we got. We got 2 vehicles. And which trust did you get? I forget. Ministry trust. Awesome. Okay. So we got a ministry trust. I'm going to show you what your corporate structuring would look like if you also had a family and a business. Do you mind?
No, I don't. Hold on. I mind that your screen so small that I'm pointing to see.
Oh, so what I want you to do is on your right hand side, you should see the view button on your right hand side.
Mm-hmm.
And that view button, switch it to the speaker view instead of the gallery view. And what that'll do is that'll allow you to see it.
Okay, boom.
Got it? Okay, cool. Did everyone get that? Everyone got that, right? The speaker view instead of the regular view? Put a 1 if you got that. If you can see my screen. Just to make sure everyone's on the same page here. Awesome. All right, so this is how you structure it. So this is what I did. This is what you would call asset inventory. Okay? What you're gonna do is you're gonna map out all of your assets, every asset that you have. Land, house, properties, valuables, cars, LLCs, corporations, and then I want you to just draw it all out, right? If you had a trust in there, what would you put it as? All that, right? You wanna have every single thing drawn out, okay? So I'm gonna put this up here. This is step number 1. Step number 1 is draw/map out assets. Okay, that's step number 1. Step number 2 is organize/structure assets. Now, like I said, I'm one of those people where I'm gonna give you all the answers that you're looking for. I'm gonna give them all to you. Okay, every question that you have, when you hop off this call, you should be like, I know exactly how to do it. Okay, is that okay? Okay, cool. So this is how you do it. You always want to start from the top down. Okay, you always want to start from the top down. So how this would work is you would do the ministry first. Ministry is always at the top. Does anyone know what a ministry trust is? Put a 2 in the chat. Put a 2 in the chat if you've heard of a ministry trust. Let's do that first. Put a 2 in the chat if you've heard of a ministry trust. Okay, so we got 1, 2, another 2. So pretty much saying no. We got a lot of no's. You can put no if you don't know, and that's cool, right? All right, cool. So a ministry trust is a faith-based organizational trust. Pretty much it's a charitable or religious or educational type of trust. That's pretty much what a ministry trust is. But the greatest part of why a ministry trust is relevant is because the ministry trust helps you defer taxes. Let me say that again. Maybe that didn't click like y'all was supposed to. It was supposed to defer taxes. Everybody put defer taxes in the chat. Maybe y'all didn't understand. Maybe y'all didn't really care about deferring taxes. Maybe that's what it is. Y'all don't really care about deferring taxes. That's what that's about. I understand. It's not for everybody. You see what I'm saying? It's not for everybody.
Deferred taxes.
Deferred taxes. Okay? That's what it's for. Okay? So you got ministry trust, which in this case, if you have land, put a 1 in the chat if you have any land, or if you have a house, or if you have property, put a 1 in the chat. Awesome. Okay, here's the greatest part about a ministry trust. I'm about to change y'all lives. All right, so with the ministry trust, if you put your house or any property in the ministry trust, right? If we were to just put your house here, the greatest part about ministry trust is that you can actually defer property taxes. Ooh, listen, did y'all hear what I just said? If you put your house or land in a ministry trust, you can defer property taxes. All right, this is a fact, not an opinion. You can Google it. Actually, these things they don't want you to Google because they don't want you to know. So I'm going to tell it to you first. Right? Because I tried Googling and then you can't find this. Okay? Because the ministry, to answer your question, Toss, the ministry trust is designated to defer taxes. So I got a
quick question.
Yeah, for sure. Ask away.
So is that kind of like the reason why churches don't pay taxes? Because there's a church?
I was just about to say that. Yes.
Oh, okay. Makes sense.
That's exactly what it is. So back in the day, politics, science separated themselves from religion. The Catholic churches was a huge thing. Right? And so what happened was that was back in the medieval times. What they did was they were like, oh, well, we obviously don't believe in the same things. So clearly we have to have different taxes involved, right? So what they did, that's why the church is always a safe haven. That's why everybody will go to church back in the day. If that's why they would shelter everybody. They would shelter every single person because they knew that, or even the tithes that you give to church, that's a tax write-off for the church. Right? So the reason why the ministry trust is so big is just like the churches. You're counted as a church, which is why you would become a minister. Has anyone heard of becoming a minister before? Okay, cool. So this is the greatest part, is that you could become a minister or have ministry of your own church, which is your own business. Okay? So this is why ministry trust is so important, because all the churches have a ministry trust. I want you to understand, all of them do. That's why they don't pay that's why they defer property taxes most of all. And there's another one that I'm gonna show you. Right? So this is the ministry trust. Something below that, right, that you want to have, Ashwanik, excuse me, let me say it right. You can see what I'm saying. You want to have your family trust. Say it again.
Ashyanik.
Oh, excuse me. She bougie. All right. So we got the family trust right up under it. So this is where you would house your valuables. You would house your life insurance. You would house your, what else are we housing? Someone tell me something. Y'all know what else we housing under here? Does anyone else know?
My LLC.
You can put your car in here. I wouldn't put your LLC in here.
Okay.
We got a business trust for that. What else we got? Anybody else got anything you want to add?
Our kids.
Your kids. There we go. Let me take that off. That's what I was looking for. You can put your kids in here.
Your valuables too?
Don't we need beneficiaries? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yes.
So your family trust would have your kids in it because you would have to have a beneficiary, right? So these are things that you would have inside of anything revolving around family goes in the family trust. Do you get what I'm saying? Anything revolving around business goes in the business trust. So guess what the next thing is? We're now going to have a business trust. And how many? You said you have two, let's say 2 LLCs, right? Let me ask you this. What is the purpose of each LLC?
One is a cleaning service and the other one is a mobile braiding.
Cleaning service.
It's like a one-stop shop.
And a braiding business. Okay. Is there real estate involved in this, or you just going? Are you just
That's
mobile?
Another not yet.
You mobile. Okay, got you. Another not yet. I got you. Okay, cool. So let's say, and this is for people who have real estate, right? Any operating businesses, I'm going to put ops here for operating. You would put all of your operating business under one holding company. So your business trust would be your holding company, and you have 2 options. Now we suggest dissolving LLCs, right, and just having 2 business trusts as your LLC. So one of the business trusts would be your braiding company, and the other business trust would be your cleaning service. But if you're down to keep your LLCs, that's cool. You would have your LLCs up under here instead. If it doesn't, holla at me. Ask a question.
I'd like to ask a quick question.
Yep.
Okay. I was looking at the Corporate Transparency Act, and if you're incorporated before January 1st, 2024, you have until January the 1st, 2025 to have to actually comply. Is that correct?
1000%.
And the other thing was, if you only have to comply if you're 25% or more owner.
Correct.
And before I got to this class, I was doing the information on the trust, and I was thinking about, okay, well, I just make myself 24%. When I did my LLCs, I did them out of Wyoming because of the laws of Wyoming as opposed to Tennessee, because it's
correct.
Terrible here.
Anonymous. They're anonymous and they're private. Correct. So to answer your question is, I would remove yourself entirely and just house it under your business trust. So to repeat,
and the business trust would own everything 100%.
100%.
We'll definitely go over that tomorrow, Marcus. I want to.
For sure. Yeah. I don't want to go I want to make sure I answer this question, but I know you'll go over in more detail. So like how this would work, to answer your question, right, is, Myra, to repeat what he said, the Corporate Transparency Act, I'm going to summarize it and make it a little bit more digestible for people to understand. When it comes to a LLC, so this is you, right? Don't judge my drawing. This is you. And you obviously, does anyone know what you're born with? No one knows what they're born with? There are 2 things that you're born with.
You're born with a bond, your birth certificate, and your social security.
There we go. Birth certificate and a social security number. Right? I was about to be worried. Okay, so you're born with a birth certificate and a social security number. This is what classifies you as a personal individual. Does that make sense? This is what classifies you as a personal individual. Now, if the court were to come and sue you personally, they're taking all of your assets. Or if you don't have an LLC and you're running your business, they are legit suing you. But the whole point of an LLC is to separate yourself. Your LLC is now a business, which means that when they sue the business, they cannot sue you because your personal information is not tied with the LLC. But what the Corporate Transparency Act is doing is they are tying your personal information with your LLC. Is everyone following me so far? So this is why we say, nah, we're not even about to do the LLC, because if someone sues me, my personal information is involved, which means they can sue legally. They can sue everything of mine. The reason why they're doing this is because there's so many money laundering going on. If you don't know what money laundering is, they're pretty much turning dirty money into clean money, right? That's the definition of money laundering. And so there's a lot of big and small businesses doing this. So that reason is why they put the Corporate Transparency Act in place, because when you have like LLCs in Wyoming and they're anonymous and they're money laundering, they don't know who it is. They can't sue. They're suing a entity that is pretty much non-existent, right? So they're not going to be able to really win any case unless they know who the person is. So they put a Corporate Transparency Act in place to actually kill all of that. So now the personal is now connected to the LLC, which means if you're doing any money laundering under the business, they can now see you. Put a 3 in the chat if that makes sense, right? This is why it's so important, right? So we as a family are dissolving LLCs, okay? We're dissolving LLCs and we're moving to a business trust. It's more private, it's more protected, and it's more anonymous, okay? So to continue with what I was saying before, Ashwanique, this is how you would structure your business, right? You would have all your operational business expenses under a holding company. So this is actually what it would be called. I'm going to spell it out so people can actually know what it'll be called. Let's not play any games. So let's say Ashwanique, what's your last name? Sapp, right? We're going to put AS Holdings, right? This would be your business trust name. And then we would have, let's say we said a cleaning service. I'm just gonna put services. What did we say? Services company. And then I'm gonna put braiding company. And then if you were to have any form of real estate, so I'm talking to people who have land and who have houses, you would need to create a whole new entity, let's call this property holdings. And then you would house all of your property number 1, property number 2, property number 3 up under that holding company. You do not ever mix your properties with operating companies. You always separate them.
So those would still be 2 separate business trusts, correct?
Correct. 2 separate business trusts. 2 separate business trusts. And then you have your properties owning the business trust.
So with these, like for the property holding, for the 1, 2, and 3, would they get their own EIN, or would they still be operating
Correct.
under the one EIN under?
Each business trust would have their own EIN number. Every single one of them.
Okay, so each business trust and each holding company will have their own EIN number.
Exactly, 100% correct. Okay. Yep. So to take this to a whole new level, right? Everybody wants to have funding, right? You would now create a whole new business trust. Let's call this funding company. You would have a whole new business trust dedicated for funding. Does anyone know what I'm doing right now? Does anyone know what I'm doing?
You're putting a structuring the trust.
1,000%. I'm structuring the trust, but what I'm doing is each trust has their own purpose.
Asset protection.
1,000%. Each trust has their own purpose, right? So one purpose is to hold properties. Another purpose is to hold my businesses. Another purpose is to get funding. Okay. So when you're creating these trusts, you have to understand, okay, what is the purpose of the property that I'm having, right? Now, let me ask you this, Ashwanique. You have 2 cars, 2 vehicles. What's the purpose of these vehicles?
One is my driving everyday vehicle, and the other vehicle, actually, I can turn into another business because it's a handicap van.
Got you. Okay. So that's a whole new business, right? Outside of the
Correct.
2 that you named? Okay, cool.
Correct.
So we're going to put vehicle 1 here. That's going under this because that's an operations business. Now, I have another question for you. Do you want that personal car to always be personal?
No, I want it to be a advertising vehicle.
So a business, right?
Correct.
The question it was a trick question. Every single vehicle should be a business vehicle. Period. Nothing should be. You should never operate personally. So when you have vehicles, cool, they're going up under the business trust. We're going to find a way for them to be revolving around business, right? They always have. There we go. Privacy. You always have to operate in private. Everybody put private in the chat. I like that. Tosh, you go. But everybody put private in the chat. Because I need you all to think, okay, how can I move? How do I operate? How am I thinking? This is how you're organizing your assets. You're going to start from the top. Oh, ministry trust. Okay, what's the purpose of the ministry trust? Okay, well, what can I hold in the ministry trust? Oh, I can hold a nonprofit. Oh, guess what, y'all? You want to have a private family foundation in your ministry trust? You want to have your house in the ministry trust? Or if you're like, you know what, I think I do want to pay property taxes, which I don't know why y'all would want to, but you can put your house in the family trust, right? You put your valuables in the family trust, life insurance. You can put cars in the family trust. And the only reason cars would be in the family trust is if it is a valuable, like if it's a old 1982 Chevy or something like that. I don't even know what that is. I don't even know if that was a thing. I'm just throwing a year out here. You get what I'm saying? Like if it's a value, then I wouldn't use it for business. That's not something that's for business. That's for me. Do you get what I'm saying? So that would go into family trust. Okay. Does that answer? Whose question was this, by the way? Wanting to know where to structure LLCs and holding companies under trust. Whose question was that? Y'all done forgot your own question. Ashwanique, that was you that asked that? You just gonna say, yeah, that was me. Yeah. Whoever it was, they didn't respond. All right, cool. So what was another question that you all had? Y'all could unmute yourselves. You don't have to put in there.
So I have
assets go into family trust.
So I have a question in regards to the vehicles and the business trust. What about when you still paying a car note on that? How do you transfer? Obviously, you don't technically, quote unquote, own it. So how does that work?
1000%. That's a great question. So the way that you would do that is very simple, right? You pay it to your current, and then when you're current, you get the title and shift it to the business. It's that simple. You can't be late.
Sound kind of went down a little bit. Can you say that again, please? Sorry for the interruption.
No, you're perfectly fine. So you would make your bill current, right? So you have to be current. You can't be late. You just can't be late on it. Not saying you can't have late payments. I want you to listen to what I'm saying. Okay? This is a nice little hack that I'm telling you right now. Not saying you can't have late payments. I'm just saying you can't be late. So it has to be current. And as soon as it's current, you can then shift it to the business.
No, I just want to get clarity on this. When you say current, current as in meaning like even if you still owe money on the actual note, or do you mean current as in like it's paid off, the note is paid off or whatever?
It does not have to be paid off.
Okay, got you. And so you have a process by which even when you're current, then there's you saying transfer it over.
Yep.
To the trust.
1000%.
Okay.
How would you transfer it over to the trust? Would that be we reach out to the loan company and then let them know, hey, we got this trust that we want to get it transferred over to?
1000%. So you call your creditor. Your creditor is whoever the company of the car is, Kia, Honda, whoever, and you get the title. Right? After you get the title, you are then going to call whatever. Actually, I'm going to answer it in two ways. Okay? If this was a LLC, the way that I'm showing you right now is if it is a corporation LLC, okay? Not a trust. I'm going to answer both ways just in case if y'all want to do it early or you already have an LLC and it's until 2025, okay? You want to get the title. After you have the title, you then want to call you're pretty much, let me just make it shorter. You're going to get the title and then refinance it under the business. You can determine what the refinancing is. Do not let them make it, oh, you have to do 60 months. You have to do 30 months. You decide what it is. So if, let's say, for example, if you owe, let's say you owe $5,000 on a car and you already are like, let's say 15 payments from paying it off. You can have the same 15 payments that you owe on the business under the corporation. Do not let them say, oh no, let's extend it another 15 payments. No, it's my business. You can't tell me how I want to do this. Now, if this was a trust, then you would just be gifting it to your trust.
Even if it's not paid off?
Even if it's not paid off.
So how does that process work? And I'm pretty sure other people may have questions. I hope I'm not just bombarding you with a bunch of questions, but so you said call the creditor. Is that, when you say the creditor, is that the finance company or the actual manufacturer of the car? Or who has the...
I would start, so this is what I've learned, right? Because I'm literally in process of doing it right now with my car. We've done it with the other ones. And so this is what I've seen. You call first the manufacturer, and the reason why we call the manufacturer first is because I've seen way too many times where you can get the title from the manufacturer themselves. But nowadays they're making things electronic, right? And so the information that is electronic, they're going to say, oh, you have to go to the DMV or to the tag and title office. And then that's where you would get your title. So it's only two options. You would either get it from the manufacturer or you get it from the tag and title / DMV. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. But then isn't there like a lien or something to the effect where they will say, well, you have to contact the finance company because it hasn't been paid off? I don't know. I'm just kind of going through.
They're going to ask you, is there a lien on the car? Is there a lien on your car?
Yeah, usually. Well, yeah, but that's usually, I think, doesn't the finance company usually put a lien on it once they?
No.
No.
The lien only happens. The lien only happens if you do not pay something. So think of it this way: if you have a lien on your house, right? If you didn't pay your mortgage, then they will put a lien on your house. But if you're paying your car, it's the same thing with your car. If you don't pay your car, then they will put a lien on your car. But if you're paying your car, then they're not going to put a lien on it. It's only for collateral. Lien is only for collateral, right? So if you're currently paying your car, then you don't have a lien. So they're going to ask you, hey, do you have a lien on your car? And you're going to say, no, I don't have a lien on my car. I'm just requesting to get my title, get a copy of my title. And they're going to be like, okay, cool. As long as you don't have a lien on it, we'll gladly send you the actual title. Because they're not going to do it if you have a lien on it. It just doesn't make sense.
And they can email that to me and not to the DMV, correct?
Correct. So they're gonna either mail it to you or they're going to email it to you. I believe they're gonna email it nowadays because it's electronic. This electronic thing is new now. I'm used to the mailing part. So I'm not gonna lie to you. This is a new process when it comes to the electronic part of cars with titles, right? So that I don't know the entire process of an electronic version, but what I did do, because I just called them today on behalf of somebody else, that they will mail it to you. They'll mail a copy, but they said, I forgot, it's now digital, so now we may have to email it to you. And I was like, oh, this is new.
Marcus, may I add something to this, please?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, I didn't want to step on.
You're good. I'm just answering questions, that's all.
Yeah, so I want you guys to make sure that depending on what state you're in, each state operates differently with the tag office and the Department of Motor Vehicles. So you will need to check with if you're in a situation like we are in Georgia, everything is based on county, okay? You have to go to your county area for tags, all right? Now, if your car is paid off, that's different. You say you just paid your car off. You can go to the tag office and get a copy of it, but the lending company has to send over to the Department of Motor Vehicle / tag office. It's really the tag office that you have paid it off so they can lift the information as the lender on the title. So who is the iPad person? I asked him to change his name.
Oh, I'm sorry. My name is Norman.
Oh, is that the boyfriend with the girl was saying that's my man the other day?
No, I don't think so. No,
that's my boo. Okay. All right, because you guys look similar. So
no, sorry.
So you do have to make sure if it's that's they will hold up giving you a title of it if it hasn't been released. But with the with the Department of Motor Vehicle, where you get your tags, I'm just saying, speaking it here in reference to here in Georgia, okay? So you do need to check with your state. Where do you get a copy of your title? That's the first question that you need to ask. Upon that is when you will ask them to transfer the information. Now, if you are transferring it to a ministry trust, understand you are going to gift it to the ministry trust. Now, why would you be gifting it? Because then we're going to go back into the presentation and you guys are going to hold your questions towards the end. So why
no taxes?
The ministry trust?
I don't pay no taxes on that.
Correct.
And it's over $5,000.
Right. So anything that you receive inside of a ministry trust that's over $5,000 is considered income. So anything that's given to you as a donation or a gift is considered tax-free. I hope you guys heard that and understood what I said. That was a mic drop right there.
Y'all got that, right?
Copy that, Captain.
Yep, I got it.
Yes,
Okay.
sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Say it one more time.
Okay. So, Tosh, if you decide whoever the winner is that's going to get the trust, or participating and having that camera on and asking pertinent questions, if you decide that you want a ministry trust,
Oop, you saw somebody else and turned the camera on. That's crazy.
if you decide that you want the ministry trust and you wanted to transfer your house over to the ministry trust as a gift, then what you say?
Or donation.
As a donation.
Mm-hmm.
What it, because it says it clear as day, that is tax free.
Can we put tax free in the chat real quick?
Tax free.
This is what I'm saying. I don't know if y'all get excited over free,
I
but
That's ringing in my ears. Tax free all day.
yeah, you know what I'm saying. I'm black, so I like free. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Indigenous, boo boo.
Yeah, indigenous Aboriginals, we can make it sound fancy, but I like free.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. I see there's other people that like tax free as well. I ain't mad at you. I like it too.
I'm gonna pass it back over to you, Marcus. I definitely want to talk about the car situation. Please check with your state tax and tag and title department so you can find out who holds it. Because generally, the Department of Motor Vehicle (DMV) is strictly for your licensing.
Correct.
But your tag office generally has your title. So back to you, son.
Awesome. Okay. So I want to step back for a moment and I want to talk about something that's probably more important short term, actually long term, than what I'm saying right now that's short term. Everything that I broke down are things you can actually get done in like 2 days. Okay? It doesn't take long to set up a trust. It takes you like 24 hours to set up a trust. Less than that. Maybe like 8 hours. Maybe 2 hours if you really knew what you were doing. Right? It does not take long to set up a trust. Now, what does take long is is incorporating your family into everything. Does that make sense? It's all fine and dandy for yourself. I see. Let me ask y'all a question. Is anybody married? Anybody have a spouse or in a relationship? Any of those things, right? Let me ask you this. Is your spouse on here? Raise your hand if your spouse is on here. You see what I'm saying? That's my point, right? What happens normally when you're in a relationship, and clearly y'all, I am not married, but I do know family, right? This is what happens. And I've studied a lot of families, and this is normally what happens. One person will go to an event, and then when they get home, they feed their spouse the dog food of whatever that they learned. They're super hype. Oh my God, we need to do this. We need to do this. We need to do that. And then the other person's like, okay. Do you see what I'm saying? But like, they don't really know. They weren't there. This is what tends to happen. You're in alignment in the beginning of the relationship, and then as soon as you go to events, you start having major personal development, and then you keep going, and then eventually you start to not like each other anymore because you're starting to talk down on the person, right? This person's starting to look up to you. Now resentment happens. Is everyone following where this is going so far?
Yes, sir.
So what needs to happen, and this is what I'm expecting tomorrow. I'm expecting, if possible, spouses to be on here, right? Because we want the family to be in alignment. And so let's say, I'm gonna give you an expectation. Okay, Marcus, what happens if my spouse is at work and they can't come on here? Great question. This is something that you must do. You must have what we like to call family legacy meetings. Has anyone heard of that before? A family legacy meeting is this is what you want to do. You want to pick a day, pick a time that everybody is available, and you stick to that day and time. And the goal for this family legacy meeting is that you talk about, or the goal is for you to talk about how to get out of the situation you're in, or elevate the situation that you're in, and for you to actually have bonding time. How do you expect to do business with your family if you don't like them? Then, how do you expect to do business with your family if you feel as if you are financially not there where you need to be? I'm gonna be real. In our family legacy meeting, we talk about money first. I can't even talk about bonding with you if my money's not together first. Is everyone feeling what I'm saying? Like, how can I be nice to you and I'm mad every day that I'm broke? That means I'm trying. I'm trying to talk to you at this point. I'm not even attempting to bond with you. I'm really worried about money, but I got to talk to you now in a relationship, right? So like, you want to talk about getting your credit together. You want to talk about, okay, what businesses are we starting to venture off? It doesn't matter if you're starting a business or if you're creating a business, right? What are we getting into? If you have a current business, how can we optimize getting more sales? Okay, raise your hand if you have a business. Raise your hand if you have a business real quick. Okay, cool. Now keep your hands up. Put your hands down if your business needs to perform more. If your business is not where it needs to be, put your hand down. Okay, so we have two hands that are still up, meaning that it is performing. That's what your hand is up for. Okay, great. So do you see how everybody's hands went down? And this is a safe place, so you don't have to worry about any of the extra stuff, right? We're family here. We're big on family, all right? So the reason why I say that is that's a reason why you need to have a family legacy meeting. I'm gonna give you a hack that I've learned from one of my mentors, Myron Golden, right? Has anyone heard of Myron Golden? Okay, Myron Golden is
first time.
Mentor. Myron Golden is one of the biggest, originally network marketing, now full business owner, entrepreneur, pretty much in the United States. His one-on-one is $25,000. In order for him to speak, it's $250,000 an hour. Think about that. How much value he had to put in order to charge that much, and people actually buy it. Right? So the reason why I say this is because when you're doing your business, when you're running your business, right, there's a key thing that you have to pay attention to. What he taught me was there's something called lead generation, lead conversion, customer retention, and customer ascension. This is the 4 business models in order for you to become wealthy. And most times the biggest issue between businesses is lead generation and lead conversion. So lead generation is you figuring out how to get leads, bringing in new business, and then lead conversion is actually when you bring in new business, you are now converting the new business into sales, right? So most times people that put their hands down, the issue is those 2 areas, lead generation and lead conversion. And if we want to back up even more, most times the reason why you have lead generation and lead conversion issues is because you don't know who you're talking to. Who's your avatar? What's your offer? Right? And so what I'm explaining right now are things that would be discussed in the family legacy meeting. And if you don't know it, then the first order of business in a family legacy meeting is, okay, who do I need to invest in to know this information faster? Who do we need to invest in? We as a family, which means all of you pitch in. The first thing we did as in our family legacy meeting is we paid $55,000 to Nehemiah Davis twice. He's also one of Myron Golden's mentees, and he's our mentor. So we're big into personal development, right? So the key thing here is, this is the thing, when we invested the $55,000, we were making $2,000 a month. Picture this. How can somebody who's making $2,000 a month afford $55,000 on a payment plan? And it's $5,000 a month for a payment plan. Picture that, right? We only make $2,000, but we have to come up with an extra $5 or a total of $5. This is why when you're in a family legacy meeting, why this is important. This is what we did. And I promise you, mentorship is, if it's not the most important thing, it's sacred, right? The first 30 days, he gave us one piece of information. All this man said was to double your prices. Double your prices. I'm gonna give the same information to y'all. I'm pretty sure that what you're pricing yourself as right now is not where you truly feel as if you're valuable. So how much does it truly cost to work with you? How much are you worth, right? So we went from, our offer was $20 a month. So we had 1,000 people on a live. I think it's 1,000. No, 100 people, which made it $2,000 a month. We had 100 people on a call, which made it $2,000 a month, and it was a $20 offer. He said, "Oh, it's $20,000. I mean, it's $20. You need to turn that. You need to double your prices, double it again, double it again, double it again." He said, "You pretty much need to charge $5,000 for your service." So guess what we did? We doubled our prices to $5,000 from 20. It's really more than double. $20 to $5,000. We talked to the same 100 people, and we said, "You know what? We have another service that will take you all to the next level, and we're only accepting 5 people or 10 people." Guess how many people from that 100 actually had the money? And so guess what? The first month we made $40,000. So guess what we were able to do? Give it to Neo. $5,000 to Neo. The 35 reinvest into our business, right? And so the key thing of what I'm saying here is that in a family legacy meeting, you have to make those hard decisions. We had to make a hard decision of something that we did not afford in order for us to be able to take ourselves to the next level. Another part, right? So you have the first part, which is when you're going to there's 2 parts of a family legacy meeting. You have the founders meeting, which is the one I'm talking about right now, which is the business meeting. And then the second part of the meeting is the family bonding, the family meeting. Let's just call it that, right? The family meeting. The founders meeting, you want to talk about credit, business, okay? That's what that meeting is about on a weekly basis. How's your credit? Who has the best credit? And then whoever has the best credit teaches the people how to get where they're at right now. So let's say the person has a 620, but everybody else has a 400. Then the person with the 620 teaches them how to get to a 620. Then as the person that has a 620 is teaching everyone else, that person has to then learn from someone who has a 700. So guess what? When the person has a 620 that has a 700, now what? Now we're going to teach the people who have a 620 how to get to a 700. Is everyone understanding what I'm saying? You don't have to be perfect to do the family legacy meeting. I want you all to, the perfection mindset, I want you to erase that. We just need you to get to a point where you feel that you are getting out of your current situation. Right now, it's about snowball effect. How can we do the small stuff and knock out the small things? What that does is psychologically releases stress because you feel as if you're moving instead of being stagnant. Is everyone following what I'm saying? Okay. So that's the first part of the family of the family legacy meeting. It's the founders, the business. Okay, you always want to ask every week, are we on pace? What's our goal? Our goal is to make an extra, let's say $10,000 a month. Okay, what do we need to do to make $10,000 a month? This is the habits we need to put in place. If we don't know the habits we need to put in place, then the second question is, do we need to invest in somebody to know what habits to put in place? And then we do them until we hit $10,000 a month. On the credit side, I just broke down how that works. You either invest in somebody that knows credit, or if the family member already knows credit, to get them then you get them to the point of where that current person is. So it's either you execute or invest in a mentor. That's how the business part should go. The family part is very simple. Does anybody have kids? Raise your hand if you have kids. Okay, cool. I feel so young. That's crazy. So how this works, right, is if you have kids, and I'm speaking on my mother, I'm going to speak on behalf of her, right? How this works is you want to ask, and you could even do this when you're not in the same household. You want to ask, how can rate myself on the past week? I want you to rate myself 1 out of 10. Rate me 1 out of 10. And you're going to say whatever number, right? And then you're going to say, okay, well, how can I get to a 10? What steps do I need to take in order for me to get to a 10? And what you're doing is you're being brutally honest. A lot of people aren't willing to do this in a meeting. You become brutally honest, and it is okay to be brutally. If you don't like them, I don't like you. Our family legacy meetings are not all fine and dandy. Not all the time. We got a lot. It used to be really rigid in the beginning. Now it's a lot smoother, right? So it will get ugly. I'm just being honest. And what you want to do is you want to accept the ugliness. Allow it to get ugly. Don't ignore it. Allow it to get ugly so that you can all grow together. Because what you're doing is you're improving the relationship that you all have. If you're saying, yo, bro, like, I really don't like how you did X, Y, and Z last week. It made me feel some type of way, or it hurt me, or it did this, or it did that. Say that. The meetings is where you're honest with somebody. We want to know what's great. Marriages. I had a marriage counselor. Not a marriage counselor, but we had a family therapist at our FamCon event that was in November. And the greatest advice that she said that marriages do that are higher now is that they have meetings. It may be quarterly, it may be monthly. I'm sorry, not in marriages, but in relationships before they get to marriage. They have meetings quarterly, monthly, and what they do is they assess where they're at right now. So let's say on a monthly basis, you're in a relationship, you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, whatever, right? Every month you say, okay, how do I feel about you right now? Do I still feel the same that I felt 30 days ago? And if I don't, how can I get better? How can we get to that point again? You're doing that exact same concept with your family, right? And so then the next question you want to ask yourself is, how can I do better around the house? What can I do better around the house? Who can we raise the mothers up real quick? The mothers, can y'all raise your hands real quick? How many of y'all children don't wash no dishes? Let's be honest. I'm one of them. I don't wash dishes. I don't like dishes. I believe in time. I don't know about everybody else. I don't like it. Okay? So the reason why I say this is because this helps your children do dishes. I've never washed so many dishes in my life over these past 3 years. Okay? But the reason why we did this is because we had a family legacy meeting and we said, okay, my mom was like, okay, Marcus, look, I don't really care. This is what the greatest part about a family meeting is that you show the example. My mother is really, really good at showing the example. She would say, not like paper plates. I'm done. Actually, I'm bougie. I don't like paper plates. Okay? So this is how it works, right? She always cleans the kitchen first, how she likes the kitchen to be made or cleaned. And then in the family, like what she'll do is she'll do it the day of. She'll wake up early because we have our meetings at 10 a.m. every Saturday. She'll wake up early around like 8, clean the whole kitchen. And then when we get to the family part of the meeting, she'll say, hey, can you all follow me? And she says, I want you to, you know how you go on the counter and you got to look like this? You got to look to make sure there's no crumbs on the counter. She's like, I want you to come down to the counter and look at the level of the counter. And do you see any crumbs on the counter? But this is what she does. She shows the example. So like, this is what you got to do. She's like, every time you're done eating, I want you to wipe the counters like this. I want you to wipe the stove off like this. You see the sink? What's the difference between your sink and my sink? My sink is empty. Right? So that the key thing about a family meeting is that you're setting the example and you're not just scolding somebody. You're showing them what you expect. Expectations are important. Is everyone following what I'm saying? Like, it's a funny example because it's actually real life. But like, this is what it literally is. So what I'll do, honestly, I actually have a family legacy meeting template, like an agenda that I'll give to you all in the Facebook group. Did you all join the Facebook group? Did y'all get in there? Let me put that Facebook group in there real quick. Put that in there. And I'll also add it in the portal. There you go. There's the Facebook group. Make sure you all add yourselves to the Facebook group as well. But I'll also add it in the portal. The family legacy meeting gots to have. The agenda is golden. Okay? If you really want to take it to a whole new level, this is how to do a family legacy meeting. Because this is with your immediate family. This is how to do it with your extended family. Okay? You have two options. You either can host a in-person event and do it 90 days out in advance and make it a whole experience. Make it an event. You ain't got to spend too much money on this, y'all. Do it in your house. Don't try to do a whole venue or anything. We're not event planners out here, okay? We're just here trying to get people to be in our family bank, in our family legacy meeting, but long term be in our family bank, right? So you want to do it in your house, get you some refreshments, drinks, food, whatever, right? And then you want to have a presentation, right? People are going to be like, oh, a presentation? No, make this fun. Like, actually be interactive, have games, whatever the case may be. We all know that there's different personality types in the audience, right? So you want to do it that way, or you could do all of that, but virtual on a Zoom call. Okay? And you can do this 90 days out, 3 months out. Okay? And what you're doing is you're now making it where your extended family are believing in the vision of your family. Does anyone have a vision for their family? Raise your hand if you have a vision for your family. Okay. Does anyone know how much money they want for their family? Y'all can unmute yourselves. How much money do you actually want for your family? Unmute yourself real quick.
Unlimited.
Unlimited. How much?
Unlimited.
Continuous.
Okay, cool. So y'all want unlimited amount of wealth.
Generational.
Okay, generational wealth. But let me ask you this. Are you doing generational activities?
Hell no.
Learning from you.
That's why I'm here. Right here, right now.
And so this is why I want y'all to know that in order for you to have generational wealth, you have to do generational activities, which means you have to be selfless.
Right.
It is no longer about you.
Yes, sir.
Right? So when you're being selfless, these family meetings are selfless. The events, the 3-month events are selfless. Being honest with your family member is selfless. As much as you're actually you're helping yourself heal, but you're also helping the other person heal. Because it's selfless. It's selfless activity. Generational activity. All right? Put a 2 in the chat if that makes sense. Everybody get that?
Yeah.
Cool. So, moving on to the next part. Vision, mission, and values. Does anyone have core values for their family? Okay, let's talk about it. Tracy, what's your core value in your family?
First, they have to follow the instructions that I'm going to lay out. And the core value is respect, honesty. Okay.
Respect, honesty. Okay, cool. I like that. Respect and honesty. And you said follow instructions, right? Okay, cool.
Yes.
Now let me ask you this. This is what I've learned being a son, a vocalized son. I'm vocal. I always say to my mom, She's like, you not finna talk to me like this. I say, you not finna talk to me like this. I'm the right one. You see, most people say you the wrong one. I'm the right one. I vocalize, okay? I'm one of those people where I vocalize. But I'm not doing it in a disrespectful way. It's more in a funny way. So you see how you laugh? That's like how I do it with my mom. So the way that what I've learned through growing up with my short lifespan, right, is that you have an instruction phase and then you have a coaching phase, right? So this is what I've learned. Of course, when you're younger, you can't coach anybody. Go ahead and walk. Yeah, you got it. Walk. They don't even know what walking is, right? So you have to instruct them at this point. So like until like they're around teenage, maybe when they get to high school, we're now converting instruction to coaching. Right now, of course, there are rules and guidelines in a household if they stay with you, and of course, respect and honesty is respect. Let's be honest, is the most important part in my eyes, right? And so, let me ask you this on the instruction part. How old are your children, by the way?
My son is probably your age. He's 25, and my daughter's 15.
Younger than me. I thank you. I appreciate that. I like that. I look 25. That's crazy.
Somewhere around there.
But no, so what's crazy is 25 is a good age. He's probably viewing life a bit differently than, of course, when he was 20 or 18. He's probably had a little bit more experiences, right? So do they live in the same household as you, or do they live outside their household?
My son does not live with me, but my 15-year-old does.
15-year-old does. Okay. Now 15, that's an iffy number, because now we're at the point where you could be in a coaching phase or you could not be in a coaching phase, depending on the maturity level, right?
Correct.
So then my question for you is, do you have those core values written down around the house for them to see on a regular basis?
No, but they hear it out my mouth quite often.
I bet they do.
Yeah.
Which is good, because I was going to say that, right? So hearing it multiple times, an average person has to hear it at least 7 times in order for it to register. And I'm pretty sure you've said it a whole lot more than 7 times, right?
Yes.
So
yes, indeed.
The next step that I would say is have it written down in a Google document and send it to them. Right? Okay. When you send it to them, you then are going to, in your family legacy meeting, and I meant to say this in the beginning, I forgot this part. So there's 3 steps to a family legacy meeting, and I gave you 2. First part is, this is the very first part, is you want to reiterate your vision, mission, and values every single meeting. Okay? That is the first thing you need to do. Every single meeting. And we pray in the meeting too. So if y'all are praying people, we pray, we pray in our meeting. Okay? So you do your vision, mission, and we pray first, then we do our vision, mission, and values. Then we get into the founders meeting. Then we get into the family meeting, and then we close out. That's kind of like the steps in the meeting. Okay? So your vision, mission, and values, you want this vision to surpass your family.
Yes.
Right? This is not just a vision that you have for your family. This is a vision for their grandchildren, great grandchildren, right? This is a lot
generational
than you, right? Like exactly, generational.
I won't even be here. It'll still be going.
Exactly. Yes. The only thing that's definite is taxes and expiration.
Period.
So at one point we got to prioritize on how to situate those things, right? So, vision, mission, and values. Your mission are obviously things you need to execute in the present day, habits you do every single day in order to hit that vision, right? And another thing that you also need to, that revolves around vision, is your why. The most important thing that you could do to a 15-year-old, your 25-year-old, it's a bit late. He'll love it, but he'll be like, well, you should, I already kind of figured that now, I'm 25, right? But like 15-year-old, the biggest thing you could do is you're explaining the why in 2 different ways. You're explaining the why and why I'm doing something. I'm telling you to do this because there's nothing better than a because statement. My mom always told us when we were younger, you have to get your credit together. You have to get your credit together. That's the only thing she would say. And we would be like, but why? I'm 15. I don't care about credit. right? I don't know the importance of credit, right? And so the why is so important as a mother to explain to their children nowadays. One, we're in a whole different generation, but I think in general it's important because it helps put themselves in a perspective. Oh, I can't, and make it relatable to them. Let's say they're 8 years old and they play with toys. Oh, you need to get your credit together because I can't really buy any more toys for you if your credit is not straight. Do you get what I'm saying? Guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna get their credit together. You see what I'm saying? If they're 15 years old and the boy and the boy likes girls now, oh, you can't go on no more dates. You can't even like a girl now. because what woman's gonna want an unstable man? Okay? So like this is where you can make it a bit more relatable for them instead of making it like high level on your end. So I would always explain the why, and the other why that I'm talking about is why you're doing this in general. So my personal why, if you're not familiar, and I'm gonna be a bit vulnerable to you all in a second. My brother and I's father passed due to COVID in 2020. So my why is,
sorry to hear that, brother.
Oh, appreciate that. So my why is, okay, well, I'm gonna get everything that my dad could not get. He wanted a Trans Am. He wanted a specific Porsche. He wanted all these things. So my why is to get everything that he couldn't receive, right? So you have to explain the why for yourself and your family and communicate that as well to your children. And what that does is that helps them appreciate the values that you're giving to them or instilling in them. Does that make sense? So does that make sense to everybody here? Raise your hand if that makes sense. Y'all got that? Awesome. So I think that was everything on my end on the presentation. So now I want to open up for questions. Okay? And then after that, I'm gonna do last remarks and then we're gonna close out. Was this good? Was this valuable? Like, let me know if this was valuable.
Cool. Loved it.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Yes, it was.
Meats and potatoes.
I love it. So let's talk about what y'all want to talk about now. What questions y'all got for me?
So my question, if I don't mind, is what's the difference between a ministry trust and a family foundation?
Great question. So a family foundation is a nonprofit. A ministry trust is an organizational entity. So one is an entity and one is a nonprofit. Now a nonprofit is an entity in sorts, but it's not a family foundation is not a corporation. Does that make sense? It's just a profit. It's just a nonprofit type of thing. Does that answer your question?
Does. Thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem.
So as a nonprofit, what would make things, I don't know, like what would make a big difference? Because I know, isn't a ministry trust a 501c3?
508c1a.
508c1a.
Yes,
okay.
It's a totally different code.
Instead of an actual church, right? Okay.
It's totally different. So a 501c3 is a nonprofit. A 508c1a is a ministry trust.
Okay. And a foundation, families do that just to move money around, right?
That's it. That's all they use foundation for. They give back. It's a philanthropy tool, and it's a banking tool. It's another way that they can get access to banking. They can borrow. You can borrow against your foundation.
That's how you.
That's what.
Bank.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that's like there's three ways. There's I'm gonna tell you all the ways to actually create a family bank. So you have the foundation, you have the life insurance, you have the business, and you have. I feel like I'm missing one more. But let's just say those three things. Those three things are the three ways you can actually borrow from your family bank. Does that make sense to everyone?
A little bit. I have a question. So
Yes.
the 501c3 is a non-for-profit. Is that private or not private?
A 501c3?
Yes.
That is public.
Okay, so which one is the
You
private?
can Google a nonprofit. A 508c1a is private.
Gotcha. And that's under ministry, correct?
That's under a ministry trust, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Another question, when does one get a foundation after you set up the structure that you showed us in terms of the ministry trust, the family, and then all the holding companies? Okay.
Yes, so I would always say set the structure of things first. Set the base foundation first, which is the ministry, the family, and the business trust and incorporation, all that up first. Then let's work around. Does that make sense? Then let's input things. You're a trustee. Everyone here's goal is to be a trustee, right? So not a grantor. A grantor is a person that creates the trust. We're not interested in creating the trust. We're interested in becoming a trustee, which allows us to be able to manage, change, distribute assets, right? So you can add and remove whenever you want to as a trustee. So let's set the foundation first, then we'll add and remove things later.
Hawaii has a question.
Yes.
In Hawaii, we're actually foreign Hawaiian national subjects of a municipal body corporate that is not a party to the union. It's actually under the U.S. Inc. So as we are in the process of correcting our status, how do we contract with or under a DBA, LLC, S Corp if we are foreign to the municipal body corporate? How do we trying to not contract, but now we're foreign to an occupation that's here. We're in military occupation in Hawaii. So a lot of our people here as the native people are in the process of correcting their status, but they also want to take this journey and be sustainable as well as being private and sovereign. So how do we contract with
or how would we create a trust?
How would we create
be able
the
to
trust?
apply that in our
context?
Yeah. This is my mom.
Well, hello, Mom. Right? So let me ask you this, just so there's perspective here. Are you a part of the United States?
Kingdom.
No, we're not. Not us, ourselves.
Thank you,
We are
Occupied.
we are in an occupied state, military occupation, and we are of royal subject blood. So we are in the process of abjuration, full abjuration. But we want to work in private. We would like to remain in private. So I've currently done some documentation to begin that process of abjuration, and we're incorporating that for other people who are seeking that, because we are not a part of the union. We are born in occupation, but we have to correct the status. So once you correct the status, you will know you will be foreign to the occupation. So there is a denizen occurring for those who are aware of it. So we're currently holding denizen because we've taken the process to correct it and file it as public record. So now if we're going to become private, which we are, how do we facilitate another contract in public
in the municipal corporate while we're private?
Yeah, to have our trust.
So you do both.
Like we're trying to stay private, but if you create the trust, you're contracting, register your DBA, trademark, copyright, paramount claim, all of these things becomes back and forth, right? So how
two answers for that, right? And you're referring to being of sovereign in regards to the entire Hawaii, right? Or just you? I'm assuming you're saying Hawaii.
It's
the
just
entire.
them.
Oh, just you all?
Yeah, it's just gonna be them because, all right, it's almost like they're the indigenous of the America.
Of America, right? Exactly.
Like they're the indigenous of America, and because they're like the indigenous of Hawaii, aloha, Mom. Aloha. Because they're indigenous of that particular, they're private citizens technically now.
Correct. I was about to say you're technically private
entity now. Right now, they have to what they're having issues with is claiming this foreign entity so they can operate according to that. So we're going to have to do a totally separate training for that because there is a very long process. You guys need your own. You need to create your own sovereignty land, so you can have your own identification. So this is what they don't want us to have. This is where all this corporate transparency and all of this stuff is coming into play. This is where if you're filing taxes, now they want you to identify yourself with the ID me. It's crazy. They'll take screenshot pictures of your face like this. So this is where you have to understand it is also imperative that you trademark yourself. Your image, okay?
And your
likeness. They can't use your image. How you gonna sit up here and use me and you don't even have the authority? That's why you got to be careful when you are uploading, even through AI. If you upload the image so you can AI yourself, because they're taking that information and they're pixelating it with all these other images. So then if you get stopped, and what you doing with my? Why is my picture on there? Okay. How do you
let me ask this real quick before you get into it, Mamiya.
You signed your signature to it.
Wait, Mamiya, can you hear me?
I'm sorry, son.
Oh, I wanted to answer the question real quick before you get into that. I'm
sorry, I get passionate about that.
I know, and I know where this was going to go.
Crazy, I am. I don't like that.
I know this.
Do all kinds of stuff.
I know exactly where this was going to go, so I was like, let me chime in and add my input, and then if you want to run and do your thing,
let me get talking about the sovereignty.
Let me just answer their question first. Okay, so
let's get it.
Answer the two things. You're counted as a foreign national, or private citizen, right? We don't even nowadays. People say sovereign, and it's a red flag. We're not even going to use the word sovereign anymore. Okay. So we're just going to erase that. We're foreign nationals, and actually, private citizen. We like to count ourselves as dual citizens. So dual citizens is we're private internally within our family, but we are friendly with the United States. Does that make sense? Yeah. So when you all correct, you all would need to become a dual citizen. Right. So in the way that you will become a dual citizen is very simple. One, you would need to have a foreign trust. Okay.
And they starting to trip on the foreign trust.
They are. So you got to catch on it now, fast, right? So you would have to do a foreign trust. That's one step. Two, status correction is the second thing that we were mentioning. So you would have to operate under the EIN number instead of the Social Security. Third thing that you would need to do,
or the sole proprietor number. They can do either or. The sole proprietor.
Or the sole proprietor, yes, correct. And or you would need to get your own passport and your own ID.
Correct.
Right? So those are things that you would need to do. And this isn't just for y'all, this is for everyone on the call, right? But like it's specified to you all because you really don't have a choice, right? Everyone else here that's in the United States has a choice to be able to do whatever they want to do. Right? So those are kind of like the steps that I would take in regards to correcting your status and claiming yourself as an international I said it wrong. Yeah, international, Aboriginal, indigenous. It's so many different words that revolves around foreign national. Indigenous, Aboriginals is that correct word, right? But does that answer your question?
See, it's like
sort of, just because of who we are and the land entitlements that we have entire valleys assigned to our family lineage.
You need a land trust.
It makes it we've gone through so many different resources and we haven't found people who can get it to a place where we need to be, because in our country, under the constitution that supports our country, our kingdom, we're not allowed to carry denizen. So we want to stand lawful, sovereign. Okay, well, I know you said not to say sovereign, but we want to be in our space in our country and not carry the dual citizen because it actually affects our land claims. We cannot hold.
Got you.
That's what I was going to say. So you act like a U.S. citizen and see that you get nothing. Okay?
Yeah.
I've been sitting over here festering in my seat because I'm waiting for him to finish talking. Because
you go ahead. You can run. Do your thing.
Decide that you're going to act under the corporation of the United States as their so-called citizen, you're going to lose everything that is owed.
Yes.
Yes.
You're going to lose everything. So you're going to have to. I got chills when I literally write down. You're going to. Okay, are they listening?
I'm here.
I'm here.
No, I'm talking about the people.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
You know what DJ
I'm
Khaled
listening.
says?
Yes,
They
mama.
Are
I'm here.
they listening?
Okay. Something's going on, right? We know it. 2024 is coming. It's the year of the quantum leap. Okay? This is where it's getting ready to shift. Sometimes folks be like, tomorrow you too deep. I'm like, I'm Dr. T, Mama T. I'm like, look, I'm telling y'all.
Yeah.
We're going through a shift on this earth, on this planet. It is changing. Okay? And it's going to divide us. And if you didn't watch that movie, it gives in the movies, they tell us everything, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Whether it is, what's the movie, Marcus? I used to say it all the time.
This is on Netflix.
Yes.
That's the one.
Yeah,
I
that
see.
just came out.
Something world.
Yeah.
Leave the.
That was a weird ending. I didn't like the ending, but it made
I
sense.
didn't hear the name clearly. I'm sorry.
Leave the world behind. Yes, the ending.
Leave the world behind. Leave the world behind.
I won't say it was trash because if you haven't seen it, you need to see it. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so whoever got a Tesla, they done did a recall of 2 million cars, right? Because of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it makes you think for a second because they're telling you things. And then what's the other one, Marcus? With the metaverse. Lord, when we were trading, I talk about it all the time.
Talking about Spider-Man? No.
Was it Spider-Man?
Not the Spider-Man, because we were very heavy, and we still trade, but we're very heavy into trading. We traded 24 hours a day around the clock. That's how crazy it was. We would be on 8-hour shifts and everybody, and we have 300-400 people on, and we were trading. But what's the movie, Marcus? The metaverse movie.
You use the words. What is it? What characters? Because I'm good at guessing movies. That's
jumping in is they have on the metaverse glasses, and they're Marcus, you're muted, so nobody can hear what
Lightning.
Oh, I thought I was. All right, Ready Player One is the name.
Oh, Ready Player One. Yeah, I love Ready Player One.
So here it is, Ready Player One.
Right.
Whatever this movie that just came on Netflix, right?
Mm-hmm.
The world is shifting. The whole goal, and the one that with Will Smith in iRobot.
Mm.
Okay, and the other movie that he was in with the zombies, right?
Well,
so
sorry.
we got a couple things going on, and I know I'm going deep, but I just need you guys to think for a second. So the television show Walking Dead wasn't about the people that were really dead. It's about the people who are walking literally with their phones, and they're like this all day long, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're oblivious to what's going on while they over here making moves, right? They're making moves, so they're telling you, "Oh, don't do the big." Look, I turned $300 into $300K trading Bitcoin. So so sit up here and tell me that Bitcoin ain't real is some BS. All right? They're shifting the bank. Now they're saying, "Oh, you can buy with Bitcoin," but Bitcoin's not real. Bitcoin's not backed by anything. That's what they're saying. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
First, they say, we're going to give you the money. Here's all the PPP and this, that, and the other, and whatever. Now you want to put everybody in jail because they're stating that they're not recording it. So all this is a setup to do a shift. Okay?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So who is signing their name for exposure, for monetization? Every time you sign your name, you're signing away
your name.
Okay. So you have to be very careful. So when people sometimes they'll say, "Oh, y'all ain't real, y'all ain't doing this, blah, 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 blah." We don't go on talking about the money that we've made on the social media. Okay. I ain't got time for that. But one, we don't flex like that. Okay. We could do a whole bunch of things. What people do see us do is they see us travel. But we don't flex about what we have, how we live, where we live. Okay? We don't do that. Why? Because they watching.
Right.
Some of the people were getting arrested. Okay, so the shift is happening. They're like, okay, 3 years ago, we're going to give these folks some money. But dag nabbit, we didn't realize the people of color were going to make all of this money and open up the Pandora's box and understand credit and understand their rights. Dag nabbit, we got to take it and get this money back. We got to get it back. So we need to do the Corporate Transparency Act. We need to get them and put them in jail. So we're going to make these fines. Because we know they're not going to record. We know that they don't understand what they did. Just a bunch of them got a whole bunch of LLCs and they didn't report anything. So here it is. You didn't dissolve the LLC. So we're going to fine you $500 a day. Don't comply, $10,000 fine, or we're going to put you in jail. Well, let's back up for a second. Jails is a business.
Right.
Prisons are a business. Okay, so if you don't report, so now it's like, oh, I should just be sole proprietor. I'll just go get the sole proprietor. So I'll tell what I make. Well, you're already being taxed 50% on the top, and then you're being taxed when you go to the store, and you're being taxed here, and you're being taxed there. So you're already being taxed on every single thing. So what do? So I'm going to operate and have a trust. If I operate and have a ministry trust, I'm taking only donations.
Yeah.
And on top of that, we going back to Pig Latin. So what is the name of our company in Pig Latin? Lagatun. Lagatun mean in Pig Latin. Because when we was growing up, I don't know, I'm 55, so I don't know if anybody else on here, where Ralph at? Where Keith? Keith? You remember Pig Latin when we were growing up, Tracy? You remember Pig Latin? Y'all remember Pig Latin? Okay, because Tracy, you in Chicago, right?
Yes.
You remember when we was in school, they was showing up talking about Pig Latin. Folks was talking Pig Latin because that literally true language.
Yes.
Yeah.
That is the true. I got chills. That is the true language. So boom, we separate. Because that's what the banks recognize. The banks recognize Latin.
For people who are not aware of why the banks recognize Pig Latin, does anyone know what the original law of the United States came from?
Maritime law, y'all. Maritime law.
Yep. It came from Europe. Europe
Yes,
is a predominantly Latin country, which then allows you to be able to, all their laws is pretty much in Latin. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's why you have to name everything in Latin. That's like new level. That's like new things that they don't teach you. Right. So.
No, we didn't say so at the same time. I'm sorry.
So I mean, that's really what it is. So Wahina, were we able to answer your question?
We're going to get to your question.
I think so.
We're do something. I'm gonna have to consult with you separately because there's so much involved with staying and being completely private, from your IDs that you're going to make, from your citizenship that you're going to create, your own country that you're going to have to do. You know, you have to create your own language. There's a lot involved that you're going to have to do. So you are not recognized as a U.S. citizen. Okay. Yes. And the only reason why I was bringing up some of the things, because I need you guys to be enlightened. So even though Marcus is talking about some of these other things, I'm trying to get you to understand from the backside as why are we doing what we were doing? Trading opened up the Pandora box for us when we understood that they were trading our money in the middle of the night from our from our savings accounts. So any money that you have sitting in the bank, they're trading it. So we were like, wait a minute, hold on, how you doing that? And then we understood that so when the dollar the fiat was no longer backed by gold and silver. 1930. And I will bring up the money tomorrow, because on the dollar bill, it even says it in Latin, backed by gold and backed by silver. We have old bills that show that. So this was like, okay, let's get into this financial portion. Once we understood the power of credit, then it took us over to creating the foundation of corporations. But when we understand, I mean, from LLCs. But once we understood that having an LLC meant limited liability, I don't want to be limited. So I no longer want an LLC. That's one of the reasons why we're dissolving the LLCs. Then it took us over to the trust because now we needed to protect us as we learned consumer law. And it's like, wait a minute, hold on. And no, they didn't just change on Cornell what a person meant in the dictionary for consumer law June 28, 2023, because we were learning about consumer law. They just made some changes. Okay? Because I have to update the consumer law training. So now it's like, okay, so what do we really do? I need to get a trust. We need to start thinking as a family unit and not separate. So if we come together and hurry up and get the money up under the trust so we can create your country and our own individual countries of private citizenship, dual citizenship, then we can protect ourselves. Because I need a bunker. I don't know about y'all, but I need a bunker. I need some water. I need all kinds.
You need a bunker. Yes.
Like, I'm coming to Hawaii.
Yes, we got you.
I want a bunker too. Count me in.
Okay? Because y'all think this stuff is a joke. What we're talking about, this, you thought that this 3-day intensive was just, okay, well, let me just get my, since they brought it up, my, friends from Hawaii, aloha, it's like, y'all need to understand, either you're going to get your shit together now, or y'all going to be left behind. And I promise you, the next 2, 3, 4, 2, 5, 10 years, when the world is totally changed, because it is not the same as it was 3 years ago.
Yeah.
It is not the same financially. Houses that were costing $48,000 are costing $400,000. Okay. They just passed a law stating that the banks can no longer buy mortgages, buy the houses. And I'm gonna pull that up for you guys tomorrow. Why? Because they were trying to buy up all the houses because they don't want you to own anything. They want you to rent. So what did we do? Giving up the land. So we need the land because that puts us in control, but we need more than the land. We need an allodial title, and you put that allodial title of the land under your trust. So that means you own the ground.
Yeah.
We're not just talking about the land itself. We own the ground below, and then we're going to own the air above.
Miss Tamara, our family has the allodial titles, and we have been arrested when going back to our allodial titles, and we've tried so many different paperwork, and
we're still in the process.
That's why we're here. That's why we're in your class, because my daughter believed that she watched something and believed that you guys have something that could give a little clearing, because we have the understanding of juris and sui juris and clearing that, but we also are aware that our country was unlawfully occupied. So we're actually in an illegal military occupation where our country still exists. We just don't have our government seats full. So we're not trying to create a country. We're just trying to return to the original state from 1893 that is still lawfully here and recognized in the United Nations. And a letter was also already given to our governor and our mayor to inform them of our form of occupation and to begin the transitional governance from the state of occupation, the municipal body corporate, to the lawful sovereign country that is still here. So they're just the conduit that's supposed to operate for peace, law, and order as a municipal body corporate. But they're also supposed to facilitate the opportunity for us to stand sovereign, and they're not. And so
who's going to be in power? Who's going to take the positions? And this is not getting. I hope you guys don't mind us having this conversation.
Sorry, guys.
Anybody that's up on what's going on, they should be aware of this. So you're telling nothing but the truth, and I'm excited to hear it. Thank you.
They're going to have
I've been following it too.
Within your country, within
that's why all the rich billionaires are moving to Hawaii. That's why he has so much islands, and all of them have islands over there and bunkers, like you were talking about.
That's why they're burning down Maui.
That's exactly why they did it.
That's why.
Because they're trying to get you guys out, because they're moving those people, elite people.
What they doing? They doing a foreign trust in that area.
Come on.
So that they can't be touched, or if they're gonna take it to a whole nother level, they're gonna do an international trust in that area. So the jurisdiction of the United States can't even touch the jurisdiction of Hawaii, because technically Hawaii is a gray area. It's a U.S. state, but they're not operating it as a U.S. state, right?
Yes.
And so they're flaky. They're just like, oh, we're gonna take advantage of the gray area and make sure that we're good.
Small group of people.
The thing is, sisters, auntie, the thing is, the president of the United States is supposed to give back the power to the monarch, which is Hawaii. That's the only issue. Is I don't know why the cabinet. I don't know why
legislative
Congress. The Congress.
We don't have.
They're not going to do it. He already knows about it. He's not going to do that.
You know why?
No.
Because they're buying up the land.
Yeah.
Okay. They're buying up the land. And so if it can happen to them, guys, it can happen to us. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? It already happened to us. We're indigenous people. Please understand. There is no such race as black. Okay.
Even though we say it, you know what I'm saying?
Well, it's because we were going through something. We were going through something to separate ourselves, meaning from the oppression of being slaves. So identifying ourselves as black was for that reason. But I'm saying right here, right now, we are indigenous people. They are indigenous to Hawaii. You guys are going to have to take office within that in order to get the power. That's the only way that's going to work for you guys. So you're avoiding something that that somebody has to be in those titles.
We talk about it later.
Yeah. What I do know, though, still as a fact, legally speaking, that United States trusts do still operate in Hawaii. That is an absolute fact. They may say it doesn't, but it's still United States state. So you can still operate the way that we're teaching you, even in Hawaii.
Yes.
And so that would allow you to have protection from I would immediately put your property in a ministry. Immediately. That's the first thing I would do. All the properties that you all have, the land that you all have, immediately needs to be in a family or ministry trust. You need to immediately claim that land. I promise you that'll probably give you the biggest relief. That they can't touch your property or your land.
You know, another thing that we deal with out here in Hawaii is a lot of title fraud. So a lot of our land, because in specific, my family, we have, valleys of Aina and certain places, valleys are entirely covered with tax map keys that have fraudulent titles all over it. So it's harder to then make that claim and then have it executed when there's 1,000 people here, and that means I would have to go through this process 1,000 times, or it's a work in progress, I guess.
You're gonna have to look up, and I need everybody. This is another homework assignment, and this is how they couldn't get this town here in Florida. Is Eatonville, Florida.
Eatonville, Florida. Isn't there royal patents over there, Florida? Isn't there patents over there in Florida?
I'm sorry, you went out.
Patents. Do you guys have royal patents out there in Florida?
You need to look up the city Eatonville, Florida. They're under a trust.
Oh.
In slavery time, they were trying to take the land. They were trying to take the land from them. And they could not take the land because the land was under a trust. It was a black town, okay? And because that black town was under this trust, they couldn't take it. So however they did that trust, that's your research. And anybody else who's trying to, if you have parcels of land, does anybody have any land? Tracy?
Not here in the United States.
Raya. Okay. iPad, because I still don't know who iPad, didn't he say his name? iPad.
I think you say Tyrone.
I said my name was Norman. I had to change
Norman. There you go.
Yeah, I had to change this.
Mr. iPad.
They didn't
call me Mr. Let's call me Mr. iPad.
So I want you guys to think about so you can start controlling your parcels of land that you may own. Okay, you need to start thinking about putting your land so you can become your own little country under the trust. Also, real talk. Drop it in the chat again. How many people got land? I'm not talking about a subdivision.
So is that would that be put under a land trust
or ministry trust?
Or a ministry?
Nowadays, you would put things under a land trust, but you could do the same thing with the family trust. with the ministry trust. You don't necessarily need a land trust. You can do the same thing under these trusts that we're giving you right now. There is absolutely no difference, except that it's just a more specialized trust.
I got you. So are these like, I don't know how this applies to like the statutory trust or the non-statutory trust, or how does that work?
Yeah, so statutory trust deals with the state, right? This is a common law trust that we have. So this is a federal trust. So this is a lot broader. Do you get what I'm saying? So if this was a statutory trust, then the Hawaii situation would not work, right? But because these are common law trusts, this will work anywhere in the United States, anywhere in America. Even and I hear that, and this is not confirmed. I cannot confirm or deny this information, but we have people that have said that this is confirmed in Canada, and that this is confirmed in Mexico. Mm-hmm. Because it's American. America doesn't just house United States; it houses North America in general. Do you get what I'm saying? So that's what makes it federal and not statutory. A lot of living trusts are statutory trusts. Just means it only works in the state that you're in. Does that make sense?
Mm. I think Myra has a question. Myra, what's your question?
Oh no, I meant to put that down. I did put in the chat though. I did put in the chat though. That I get a card every week with someone trying to buy my property from me.
Well, you need a trust ASAP.
Over here. Yeah, they're just building up like crazy. So
how much land do you have, Myra?
It's almost 2 acres, but the property behind me is like my grandfather had a lot of land, and people moved from South Carolina up to the northern states, and a lot of people didn't come back. So you have heirs property here that they really can't do anything with. My mother is the last actual child of my mother, my grandfather and grandmother, who the children out of 10 children, she's the last child left. But she gave me her property, and she actually gave it to me for $1. So when I built my home, I built it for only like $50,000. Right now, it's worth almost it's like almost $500,000. My son looked it up. Because people building like crazy over here, selling houses that's literally maybe 10 feet apart for $400,000. So this is a hot area right now.
That's proof of what you were just saying, Mamiya, about $48,000 properties now being about $500,000. That's a perfect example right there. Perfect example. So,
and I've literally done nothing to my home since I built it, other than working on the yard, and they were trying to buy it from me for $500,000.
Yeah.
So check this out. November 24, 2023. This is recently, okay? We have 40 acres. It's in Alabama, all right? An elderly Alabama woman living on a plot of land thought to be worth $20 million will soon be kicked out of her longtime home after an ownership tussle with private investors. Corrine Woodson, 84, has lived on her home, outskirts of Auburn, Alabama, for over 60 years. 60 years. Woodson's house sits on 40 acres plot of gold. At least that's how the investors want it. They want her land. So basically, they're doing the same thing to her that they're doing to the people in Hawaii. But because her relatives want to sell, that's what's happening. Her relatives want to sell. And I'm like, why can't she just lease part of the land out for the next 100 years and they receive residual income? But because we're not educated enough to understand and know that we could lease the land for the next 100 years and still be paid. Well, folks get that right now money. So if you maintain the ownership and put it, why do you think the Indians that were the indigenous Indians here in the United States, why they would let them have the lands, and they would have the land and have the casinos, and that money would go back to them and all of that. This is the same situation. That's 40. That ain't two. Nothing wrong with Myra's too. That's 40 acres worth $20 million. and they kicking an 80-year-old woman. She's had this since she was 6. Lived there for 60 years.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're fighting over. This is why everything needs to be in a trust, because it's dictated on what can be done with the land. But because there was no paperwork about the land, it says within something that if the others want to sell, it forces you to sell.
You mind if I chime in on this? Because
Absolutely.
you said something super important, and then I don't want to hold you all too long. Y'all don't mind us? Y'all are good, right? Y'all don't mind us continuing real quick? Y'all are good. Like this is good, right?
Yeah,
y'all ain't got to go to sleep. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sorry, I'll be going on a tangent. I'm sorry, Marcus. I'm done. This was your night. I'm sorry.
It's all good. Your night is tomorrow. It's all good. I'll make sure to chime in tomorrow for 30 minutes. So it's okay.
Exactly. There you go.
Trying to get me back. But all I'm trying to do is add value.
It's all good. I'm not hating.
I love that value though. I'm
gonna just get my 20 minutes. So it's all good. But I just don't want y'all going to sleep on here. You know what I'm saying? That's what I don't want. So I
love this discussion, man.
Before I continue with this, all right, cool. So Mama Bill was talking about paperwork, or Dr. T in business. We like to call her Dr. T, right? She talks about paperwork. Does anyone know where they came from? Like, raise your hand if you know where you come from. Like your heritage, the culture, this, then, the third. Yeah, yes. Great. So the key thing here, right, what I've realized, I did a whole family tree on our family. Documentation was not a thing back in the day. Okay? Yeah. It was not a thing. And if it was a thing, it was not prioritized and things got lost. Right? So this is super important for you all to also do is to understand where you come from, right? Because as soon as you know where you come from, then you can operate in a way where you can become private. Private is not just trust privacy. It's also family privacy. Okay? It's family privacy. And I think that's what every Wahine was saying, her family is saying, is that, and even more. How do we pronounce her name again?
More, or I'll tell you more, but more for sure.
Okay. I just want to make sure I didn't want to butcher it. So just
means
like
one and Samoan. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So like that's the key thing here, is that you want to operate in family privacy as well. So what I want you all to do, tomorrow, right, is I want you all to find out where you come from. Do the first 2 or 3 generations and figure out where you come from, because this is important. In order for you to know where you want to go in the future, you have to know where you come from. Because this is what I was saying, and I believe I was having a conversation, a one-on-one with one of our mentees. I said, when you are remember when I was talking about family meetings and having your extended family be involved in your family business? Remember when I said that today? Well, you could do that. If I didn't make that clear, you could do that, right? The key thing here is when you want to have your family buy into your business. Okay? So you know how you have a business, and like if you're on Robinhood, you have Amazon, Tesla, you have to buy shares. Everyone familiar with that, right? Why can't they buy shares of our business? It's a business, right? So you got to think bigger. And the reason why I say that is because the shares, in a literal way, shares, but another way that I'm referring to is, in order for you to actually buy into our business, I need you to have a permanent life insurance policy and put it in my family trust. Now you bought into my business. Now we talking, right? So, and then as a reward, because I know where I come from, because I did all the research, you will now have a family crest necklace as a representation of our family. Is everyone catching my drift right now? And guess what? This is where we start getting digital and stuff. Has anyone heard of an NFT? Pretty sure everybody's heard of NFTs, right? There is something, if you want to take it to a whole new level, it's called an NFC. C as in cat. An NFC is what you would call a non-fungible chip. A non-fungible chip, y'all research that. If y'all don't know what that is, do y'all research. I'm giving y'all information our mentees would have. I'm not even gonna lie to you. A non-fungible chip is where it's like, picture if you have your crest, and on the back of the crest you have your non-fungible chip on there. This is where they'll be able to have access to your family's currency. Oh, y'all catching what I'm picking up when I'm putting down? Y'all catching what I'm saying right now? So you want to have a family currency, if you haven't already noticed that, you should have a family currency, right? And you connect your family currency to your non-fungible chip, and your non-fungible chip is connected to your family crest. So when they buy in to your family business with that life insurance policy, you are then giving them access to everything just from one simple pendant. Y'all catch it? Y'all catch it? I mean, maybe that went over y'all head a little bit, because that's some serious stuff right there. Do you get what I'm saying? That's some serious stuff right there. Okay, so the crest is not just, it's a family brand, it's a family representation, but that crest means so much more than just a crest. Okay, so when you get these things, when you actually have your family business designed, you have to know where you come from to know where you want to go. So I have to know, okay, for example, our family has Indian descent, like pure-blooded Indian descent in us on my dad's side, and my mom has Creole and Trinidadian on her side. So guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna implement that culture onto our crest, and each crest is going to have a meaning to it. There's going to be, here's another hack. Oh, here's another hack. This is what's crazy about crest. You can be as creative, and it's your crest. You can do it whatever you want. On a crest, you can have hidden words, okay? And these hidden codes or hidden words are only what your family members would know when they have the crest. Ooh, talk to me. I don't know if y'all got that. I don't know if y'all got me on that one. Picture when they get indoctrinated into your family business, that they have to learn your vision, mission, and values, and they have to learn certain words and codes that correlate only with your family. No one else knows this but the family. And guess what? There are traditions where each crest, there's something called family architecture, right? Where there's a certain crest for when you're born, and as you get older, you get different pieces added onto the crest. Oh, hold up, I'm not done yet. Y'all thought I was done. Then we got another one. Then what happened to people marrying into the family, right? Oh, we got a crest just for them too. Oh, I'm not done. Hold on. What about the people who now become what we would call a family government? Has everyone heard of the executive branch, the judicial branch, the legislative branch with families, right? What if you could do that within your family internally? Oh, I'm about to turn y'all up today. Y'all got me here today. Yeah. Stop playing with me. Okay, so look, the executive branch is the family council. This is the president. These are the people. You want to have between 2 to 4 people in this one, right? And they're going to be the face. They represent your family. Then you have the legislative branch, which is your family assembly. This is like your Congress, right? These are the people that make the decision and elect who's going to be in the family assembly, family council, and on the judicial branch, which is the council of elders. Do you see what I'm saying? So you have the council of elders who y'all know how the tribes used to be back in the day with the elders, right? That's what we're implementing this. This is where you have to know where you come from. So what stories did they used to tell back in the day in your culture? Boom. This is what the elders are going to talk about. And guess what? Going back to the family architecture, when you're classified as a family council, or if you're in the family assembly, the council, or the elders, you get a different crest, or you get something added on to your crest that represents that you are a part of the family governance structure. Man, I don't know if y'all ready for this. This is how money is. This
so
is
you're
how
doing some Prince Charles over in London type stuff. That's what you do.
That's
you
what
having
I'm saying.
your own. I got you. I'm
you
with
see what I'm saying?
I see all of it.
This is not what people
I got
teach us. You get what I'm saying? This is what you got to know. Y'all talk about. I'm telling you, generational activities. These are things you got to do, right? After you expire, who's taking care of the wealth, right? Let me take y'all to a whole nother level real quick. This is where y'all get. This is the last part, and then I'm gonna close it out for the eating because I know it's 10:25. Y'all got to get some sleep. Y'all not here to listen to us all day, okay? So look, this is where we really go crazy. Y'all know in businesses how you have executives, COOs, CEOs, CFOs, but for business. What if you had that for your family? Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that far, did you? There is something called a CIO. A CIO means a Chief Investment Officer. This person is responsible for taking care of all of your wealth. Merry Christmas. This is December 18th. There is something called...
All right, Black Rockefellers. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
There is something called a General Trust Manager, okay? A General Trust Manager, you pay them based on performance. So their job is to so you have the CIO, which is like the manager of all your assets. Then you have the general trust manager, who is the immediate person that manages all of your assets besides the trustees. As a trustee, you're of course managing the assets, but as you get closer to expiration, you then want to start assigning a general trust manager, right? The general trust manager is where you actually have, this person is based off commission. They don't even get paid a salary. They're commission based, right? So they're getting paid maybe 3-5%, whatever you deem necessary, 10%, whatever the number is, and they get paid based on performance. So let's say this year you have $1 million in your family bank, and next year you have $2 million, and they were responsible for that. Oh, they get 5% of that. You see that? Oh yeah, I got a lot for you. So, do you get what I'm saying? So like there's so much that you can do that you don't, that y'all got to think bigger. This is why I say, when usually the first thing that comes out of your mouth is whatever that you're comfortable with. So we got to double it. That's what, if we didn't learn anything from our mentor Neo, he said, you're only charging $20 a month. You need to be charging $5,000. And then we immediately saw a drastic difference. So this is not just towards finances. I want y'all to think this towards your family. Oh, what else can we do towards our family? This is just the foundation. What this is called, this is why this is the highest form of wealth. They are not teaching you this information. Running a business is 1% of the bigger picture, okay? So when you're doing this, you want to actually think, okay, I'm running the business, but what's the exit plan? Does anybody know what exit plan they have with their business? Most people don't. The exit plan, this is how you exit a business. This is what most people don't tell you either. You either exit a business in 3 different ways. Either you sell yourself as a CEO, like you're no longer the CEO, you're now the chairman, or you completely 100% sell the business where you're nothing, you just get paid royalties, or you pass it down. That's the only 3 ways to exit a business. So now that you have those 3 things in your head, now you have to think, how exactly do I want to exit my business? I gave you the 3 options. Now you have to decide what you want to do with those 3 options. Okay? So how do y'all feel now? Was day 1 worth it?
Yes.
Was day 1 what y'all were looking for?
Yes. And then some.
I love it. So I would be remiss if I did not offer y'all another opportunity to be able to work with us personally. Like with Hawaii, it'd be a personal level. It'd just be one-on-one personal level, and of course group coaching involved. But I'm not going to pitch you anything today. Just look out for the information tomorrow. What I just want you all to do is just apply. So I'm going to put a link in the chat, and I just want you all to apply. This nothing crazy, nothing super complicated. I just want you to apply just so you can secure your spot, secure your seat. I'm not selling you anything. There's no prices or anything I'm telling you right now, right? I just want you all to apply so that you all can at least be familiar with what we're going to tell you and teach you tomorrow. Because y'all thought today was crazy. What if y'all had us tomorrow, the next day,
I don't know what this one is.
the next day,
Okay,
and the rest of the year? What if y'all had us then? Y'all would really not know what to do. Okay, so y'all fill out that application. Let us know. This application is just for y'all to, just fill out the application. Just remiss and process what we did today. Okay, there's no pricing on this application. There's nothing there. It's just for us to be able to see if we can hop on a call and see if this may or may not work out. Okay, so this is just an application for y'all to do it. Is that it? Can I get a yes? Was it valuable enough for y'all to fill out the application? Was
Yes.
it good?
Mm-hmm.
Excellent. So I have nothing else unless y'all have any other questions, or Mama, you want to chime in or do whatever. You can do your thing. Let me know.
I want you guys to pull up all of your for LLC sides for tomorrow. That's going to be important. I want to know if you filed taxes on them. That's going to be important. We're going to go dive deep into the Corporate Transparency Act so you have an understanding as how it affects you. Okay, what's going to happen? We are going to have a trust specialist on here tomorrow, so you guys get an opportunity to ask Tony questions, especially for those who are in Hawaii as well. But just so you can hear from a specialist yourself. and she's CPA, so that's dealing with taxes. Okay, and how it's going to affect you guys. So our number one goal is to give you guys some quality information so you know how to move yourself, because that's the issue. People don't know look, this corporate transparency, I feel sorry for, and I'm not saying that we didn't, but all of our LLCs we did business under. For everybody that was getting all these multiple LLCs and and just got funding and didn't do business, and you did it in other states, this is where they want to know what the money laundering is. This is where you guys are going to have to know what your options are. And that's why it's imperative to have the proper structure in place. So that's all I'm going to say for my moment. I don't want to go on a tangent, because y'all know I will. If you didn't know, you know now. Especially when it comes to our citizenship, when it comes to our rights, how they're changing things up under our nose. I'm going to give you guys homework on information on what you guys need to read for yourself, so you can pull information up, not just going by what we say, but we're going to always have something that we're going to be able to back the documentation. You understand what I'm saying, Mr. Ralph, Mr. Eli, Mr. iPad, Mr. and Mrs. Taurus? Who is this?
Really said Mr. iPad.
That's what he told me to call him.
That's crazy.
He told me Mr. Jess, Mrs. Myra, Tizra, Mrs. Lori, Mr. Daniel. These things are important. Mr. Keith, y'all got to stop let me just watch video. Now y'all got to read some stuff.
Yeah.
If you think that, look, I don't like reading either. So it's like this. Read 2, 3, 4 pages a day so you can understand, because it's not just about reading. You got your ordained ministry. Yes, babe. So let me say this. We was ordaining folks. We got some folks that became ministers, because I'm prophetess Dr. Tamara Allen. So
I'm Prince.
Yes.
Let's stop playing with me. Okay. Y'all know I like to be the Prince.
Everybody has a ministry within them. So if you are interested in becoming your own ministership, it doesn't necessarily, and we got everybody to do that for free, by the way.
Oh, do you want them to become ordained on here?
Yeah, we helped you become ordained.
Do y'all want to be ordained?
Mr. iPad said, hell
want to be ordained? No, like ordained right now.
I can marry people, but I don't know if I'm ordained.
I'm actually ordained. I am.
You are ordained? I thought you were saying hell no, the way you was looking. I was like, okay.
No.
We got
I am as well.
I don't even smoke weed. We got somebody that's a minister of weed. That's what he considers him. So I was like,
I'm done.
I said, you stupid.
There's a weed church in Colorado.
I was just like, okay, you stupid. Okay.
There is a weed church in Colorado.
Wait, for real?
Wow.
For real.
That's right.
Real church.
Where is it? Because I'm going to Colorado in February, and
Where is it, Lynn?
No weed.
No, I'm
downtown Denver.
Turn into mother mode. Go.
Downtown Denver.
I smoke, but I got to see what they talking about with this.
It's downtown Denver.
I don't even know what that even looks like. I just need to see, does it look like a church or does it not look like a church? You see,
don't let her get you in public. Stop that.
I gotta see publicly what it looks like.
Guys, if you would like to become a minister, this is the website here. Now, let me explain something to you about when I say in becoming a minister. Each and every single person in here has a ministry within them. Okay? It's not always about God. So some people get really uncomfortable about becoming a minister because they're thinking one way or the other. And like the gentleman said, he's like, hey, he can marry people. Well, guess what? You can literally become a minister. You can choose how you want to be addressed. Like I said, I'm prophetess Dr. Tamara Allen. I didn't want to be Minister Dr. Tamara Allen. Okay, I'm prophetess because I'm just bougie like that. That's how I wanted it. Okay, but my ministry is familyship. That is my ministry, is helping families. That's my ministry.
Love it.
Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah, I can see it.
Can everyone see these actors right here?
All right, sorry, go ahead, man.
Yep.
You're good. These are all these people are ministers. Y'all know Lady Gaga, right?
Yeah.
I mean, she is like one of the most popular women on the planet, but like Richard Branson, he owns a record label,
Virgin Airlines.
right? He owns. Y'all see Dwayne Johnson, right? Benedict is he's Doctor Strange in the movies. You know what I'm saying? They're all ministers. Is that y'all know Sir Paul McCartney, right? Y'all know Scarface. Stop playing with.
And he has a family crest, by the way.
And he does have a family crest. He actually operates the way that we operate.
Correct.
Right. So it's not just us.
So now you're saying
New people. No. We're not telling you anything new. Do you know what I'm saying? This is just information that people don't share, right? So
they charge you for this.
Exactly. And we're giving this to you for free. So if you click this begin ordination button, you can become an ordained minister today. Put your full name, email, United States, where you from, are you 18? Everybody 18 years or older, right? Nobody's 12? Okay, just want to make sure. And then you submit and now you're ordained. It's literally that simple.
And if you are acquiring a ministry trust, this kind of goes along with your, with your trust. This gives you validation, validity. Is like I am ordained. So everybody. Let's congratulate Ashwanique.
Yes, Ashwanique is a minister.
Ordained. Okay, so which name did you choose, Neek? Because you get to choose whichever one you want. Which one did you choose? You got to unmute yourself, babe.
Hold on, I got to find it because I got it in Latin.
Okay. We got to snap to that one. We got to snap to that one. That was good. She said she executed.
Yeah.
Ashwanique do everything we tell her to do.
Say it again.
Ashwanique does everything I say. Ashwanique, I need you to do this. Ashwanique be like, hello. She be emailing everything. I be like, dang, she emailed me too dang fast. I didn't even get a chance to get it out because she emailed me too fast.
Okay, Ashwanique, tell us what you are.
Girl, you better pronounce that like we supposed to pronounce it.
I don't think I'm gonna get it right either, but I know it was
Angela.
It was Angela Marie, and Marie in Latin is Stella Marie.
Oh wait, we know you butchered that one.
I did. I told you that before I started. I knew I was gonna mess it up if I typed it. Oh shoot, hold on. I said it privately. Hold on, I'm gonna put it publicly.
Okay.
Sorry,
that's y'all. Funny. That's actually funny. She said, "I told you I was gonna butcher it before."
Yeah, I gave you the disclaimer before I did it. I gave you the disclaimer before I did. There you go.
Angela Stella Maurice. I'm not.
And what does it mean in Latin?
And Latin is Angela Marie.
Okay, but are you minister Angela Marie? Are you prophetess? Are you?
Oh, I didn't get that far yet. I didn't get that far at all.
Okay.
Yeah, I think nowadays they used to have it where you don't have to pay to remember. I think you got to pay like $35 to get the actual title of who you are. Like if you're a princess or a prince or a queen or prophetess, I think it's like $35. You pay for that on the store, and you can actually
you get your certificate
title. And you'll get your certificate with it.
Yes, it was $18.
It was 18? Okay, cool.
Yeah, it was 18.
I'm sorry. I was speaking in inflation.
Does that change your name? Or no?
You can use that to take that information to the secretary, where the Department of Motor Vehicle, because you actually get a certificate for that if you choose to have Reverend Angela Stella Marie's minister. I mean, if you choose to do that, there's no need to do that. Your certificate is enough. Like, what's crazy is she can have her neck collar. All of that. Look, our neighbor across the street is Peace Be Still because she carries a gun. She teaches people how to shoot, but she literally is Peace Be Still.
I'm surprised. That's her name.
She was supposed to be here.
That's her name. So I'm telling you, did y'all get value today?
That's literally her name.
Because I'm trying to. I don't want to overwhelm y'all with too much information.
I got a lot of value today, man. Really appreciate y'all.
Did y'all see how with these webinars we can't give y'all all this information? There's no way on a 90-minute webinar to just give these information, right? So I appreciate y'all. I want to close it out because I don't want to be on here too late. It's 10:42. We still got tomorrow. Okay, so put a 1 in the chat if you filled out the application. Put a 1 in the chat if you filled out the application, because we at least want to make sure that y'all are a good fit. More, I like it. I got 1s. We got doing it now. Excellent. Did they put F1? Oh, you must got Windows. We Apple. We'll do the We don't do the windows.
Yeah, only Apple over here. Only. That's all we do.
You must got an Android too. I'm convinced.
Tomorrow I'll be giving you guys a new browser to use so you don't use Google anymore as well. So you guys will be getting that also. So you can be private when you're doing your searches.
1,000%. We operate in privacy, y'all. All right. So thank you, everyone. I hope that day one was up. If we can clap it up, I like it. We can clap it up for everybody on here. One, I want to congratulate y'all for being on here. You took your time. You could have been anywhere, but you decided to be here. So we appreciate you for actually taking the time and listening. I don't want to waste any more of your time. It's been an amazing first day. This recording will be published by tomorrow morning. Okay. If you're not already in the Facebook group, join the Facebook group. If not, we will text everybody that it is in the group, so you are at least aware, and email, so you are at least aware that the recording is in the group and or in the portal.
It's going to be in the portal. It's going to be on the portal for them.
Yeah, it'll be in the portal. I'm sorry. I'm going to let you know in the group that it's in the portal. Excuse me. Right? So notifications will be sent out that it is in the portal. Okay? So thank you very much, everyone. Let's make some noise one more time. I'll mute everyone. Make some noise one more time. For everybody here. We appreciate it.
Let's go. Let's go.
It's on social media like,
Get the light in.
All right.
I'm gonna get
All right.
I love it. I love it. We got it. You know we got to end off. Are we doing sound effects? What's going on here? I don't even know what y'all were doing at this point. Y'all out here doing
Hey,
what's going on here? Why are we
light
doing
up
eagle noises?
I got a halo over my head, y'all. Yeah.
You know, we have to have our own cry too. You know, our family have to have their own cry. So
Yeah, there we go. I like it.
Lori finally turned her camera on. Hey, Lori. Hey, gorgeous.
Lori. We were like, what happened?
All of you.
I'm here. I had to work a little late, but I'm here.
Did you learn anything, Lori?
Of course, Dr. T. Thank you for your invaluable. I'm ready to be under your tutelage and insight that you have to give you and your whole entire family. So deeply appreciative.
That
was so sweet.
That's what my ministry. Now you understand when I say my ministry is familyship.
Yes.
It's imperative. We've got to get back there trying to wipe everything away, Taurus. Eli. They're trying to wipe every memory of history away. We've got to get back to it. So thank you so much for being here. We love you, bless you, appreciate you. We thank you for each and every single one of you. Okay.
Can you guys put the app up again? The application. I started filling it out, then I bounced back to look, and I didn't put it in there, so I can't find it again.
Oh, of course.
Thank you.
I'll
The application.
definitely put it in there right now for you.
Thank
and what
you.
I'll also do is text and email it to everyone as well.
One love, y'all.
Just in case.
Thank
you.
Just in case, so that people who haven't received it in here can receive it. Thank you, everyone, so much. Okay, I just want to do one thing. Just 30 seconds. 30 seconds. All right, so we can close it out. Tell us one thing that you've learned from today. Just tell us one thing. We're gonna start with Taurus. Taurus? Yeah, I think it's Taurus.
Yes, Taurus. Yes.
I
learned that I need three trusts.
Okay.
And I was looking at one and having to get that done, and now I know I need three, and I've got a pretty good idea how I need to set things up to move forward because I've got some nonprofits and stuff I want to work in there as well.
Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome.
Excellent. Mr. iPad, Norman Osborne, what's going on? Tell us.
What's going on, man? I learned I would say the non-fungible chip, as well as the just the Latin. You know, like I've always kind of researched the whole Latin thing, the Latin meanings of words. I actually have an LLC named with a Latin word, so it's which is bona fide, which means in good faith in Latin. But just making the connection with the trust and all of that type of stuff. But yeah, it's pretty pretty good stuff. I really appreciate the value you guys bring. I'm looking forward to potentially working with you guys. You know, we have a lot of things as well, and I think we would work well with you guys also. So I'll be filling out that application also.
Thank you, Mr. iPad.
No problem. No problem.
We got Miss or Mr. Zoom user. I don't even know who that is.
What? How did I miss the Zoom user? Who's the heck is the Zoom user?
I don't even know. Let's go with Tracy.
Oh, okay. Well, I think I learned so much, but some of the stuff I already knew as well. But I think what was more imperative to me in regards to you must move in private, it's imperative. Take everything out your name and control everything and own nothing.
I like it. Ralph, my man, what about you?
I learned about I knew about all these trusts differently. I just, like Tracy said, moving in private. And also too, I didn't know that you could move things away from already your own ownership to an entity that will be owning it. So that's some eye-opening for me today.
I love it.
Glad you were making it. You was diligent. You was like blowing me up. Social media.
Yeah, and also shout out to your mother for, getting me the link. Thank you.
That's funny.
Determined.
Oh yeah, by any means necessary,
Yes, sir.
I like it. Eli, my man, what we got?
Yeah, I'm just really overwhelmed with everything, the knowledge, the wisdom, the love, and I just appreciate being here.
Thank you.
I really, I'm just overwhelmed with joy and happiness is all I got. I appreciate the movement, and like I said, I'm just a little choked up with the love. Appreciate you. I love you. I love everyone that's here. Thank you.
We love you too.
Family is important.
Man, don't make me tear up, man. What's wrong with you? Let me do that, man.
It's about family. We have to understand.
It's okay, brother. It's okay.
Someone cut some onions in the.
I walk in tears every day. I walk in tears every day. Every day.
I love it.
It's a beautiful thing.
I agree. Oh, and we cannot miss Mrs. Excuse me. She made sure she put it there. Mrs. LaSherry.
Yes. Thank you. I think for the most part, it was a lot of information. I'm really glad that you guys gave us so much value. I think for the most part, it was about the structure for me, understanding like the structure. I got my notepad here. So you kind of hit on the business models that you learn, with the lead generation and lead conversion. So I'm going to look that up because I know it's two more, but you ain't said. Just understand the difference between the property holding, that one, and then the holding company, and the regular business trust. Oh, thank you. I see it here. Nice. Okay. And like Mr. Watson said, just how much y'all care. Miss Dr. Prophetess Tamara, I really see how you are the matriarch of your family, and I just appreciate that. And yeah, it was a lot. So I got like 5 pages of notes in my notebook. So I'm ready. I'm ready for tomorrow.
That's good. That's good.
Love a note taker.
Note takers are money makers. I'm telling you.
As long as they apply the action.
Yeah, of course.
Exactly.
1000%. Oh, we can't miss out on the Wahine, on the Hawaii. We have to know.
Mahalo. Yes, you know what? I actually have here with my mother, and I've been trying to get her on this journey. To take it together, and she knows a lot as well. But we're super excited, and I must say, just in this 2 nights, short period of time in this webinar, I think we definitely got a lot of our trust questions answered, because we did have questions about trust and just what trust would be, right? How do we, implement, like we talked about earlier. And I think because we were looking at starting a ministerial trust for a while now, and it's just been a lot of things because we have a nonprofit going, we have all these other things going on. And I feel like tomorrow we're definitely going to have the right questions for international, foreign, or ministerial, and what would be the best route of action for us. And I'm excited to talk more about other things.
And mommy, she doesn't look like mommy.
Okay. Well, I wanted to share that I've put in a few years, not as much as you guys, in studying this, and I'm really happy with what you've shared. You know, I was a little hesitant. I told my daughter I've sat in a lot. I've spent out thousands to hundreds of hours reading, research, videos, and you get there and it's like, I know that already, but I'll be honest, like 90% of what you shared, I didn't know. And so
That's good.
that speaks volumes, because I've had to get better glasses because my eyesight is going, because I read so much. But trademark, I didn't think of a trademark. Cresting, a family crest, and then trademarking that, because I did trademark copyright myself, right? I did a paramount claim. I've declared myself reconveyed to the soil of my country. I've done that. Declared my meets and bounds. I've done those things. But this is a whole nother level of leveling up in understanding the outside process. So we are a little different, but we really appreciate the separation from foreign, private. Ministerial was the path we were taking. So I learned a lot. I have 7 pages of notes, and I'm really thankful, but so grateful for just your aloha to provide this ike, this knowledge, this wisdom. Very, very grateful. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate you. That means a lot. Especially if you already know the info. That's good.
Well, it's great to know that we provided additional information that you didn't know, because it is frustrating to get on something and it's like, well, damn, I already know that I paid for that already. I'm getting the same stuff. So it's like people are regurgitating the exact same thing. And now you've learned something new, and it's solidified for you about doing your ministry trust. So that is absolutely important and imperative for you and your family. So thank you.
That's why I started off with the structure, because that is such a frequently asked question. It is literally the most asked question I get every single time I hop on anything. How should I do it? What about the holding company? Where does this go? Like, that is such a frequently. That's why I was like, you know what? We're gonna start with the Q&A, because I came here wanting to get your questions answered. So that's why I came and was like, let's just answer the questions and then we'll get to the presentation. And see what I'm saying? And then I was like, you know what? I feel like I want to over deliver. So that's why I really went crazy at the end, because I wanted to make sure that y'all think bigger than where you're at right now. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, Ashwanique is already a mentee and she's still on here. Do you see what I'm saying? So she's learning.
Chandra chimed in as well.
Oh, she did?
Yeah, she's here as well. And Dietrich was on here for a second. So it's like, it's really, the more you hear the information, the more it's going to resonate. Now, anybody else would like to say, Myra or Daniel or Sue Ellen or Jesse?
Well, I just wanted to reiterate that. Can you hear me? Because my phone went out. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. So my picture's not up there now because my phone died. So, but yeah, I'm still here. I just wanted to reiterate that I was looking through it and researching trust for a while. I already went to a week-long class, but it went so fast. I took notes. I have all the documents, but structurally, I didn't know where to begin. So literally, I had the ministry trust last. So now that you're saying that really should be the first thing, I'm glad I came on the class. On this webinar, so I wanted to hear other views and everything before the end of the year. I just didn't want to jump into something and end up doing it backwards, because literally, yes, I am a family that does everything alone. Either they don't want to get involved for money reasons, but I have one son who's 30s and he's doing great. Just bought a house, but I don't want him to start just buying things, even though he's in the finance world. He doesn't know everything. So I want to be able to, and he trusts my, he knows I'm a researcher, and when I come to him, I'm coming with things that I've already investigated and looked into, and I can come with a strong mind, because I'm in my 60s. I just turned 60. I'm 62. So I'm up there, right? So at this point, I'm getting in the game late, but I've always been a hustler and a worker, and always getting the real estate, always trying to do stuff, but nobody ever wanted to do it. Why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? So to go through this, I wanted to get it structured properly. I did fill up the application, and if you see my answers, you'll see that I'm working along based on my answers. I've gotten into a trademark, have my trademark pending. So that's another big issue, because if that's an asset that I'll have to put somewhere, and I need to know exactly where that asset is going to, where that trademark is going to go, because it's tied to my business name that I'm going to have to actually sell to the trust or whatever. So it's a lot, and I'm hoping that you guys can kind of guide me in the direction I need to go. Everybody on here, everybody who's participated, I don't talk that much, but I'm listening, and I appreciate them being able, strong enough to ask the question and respond, because we don't know everything. So somebody else, just like in a classroom, somebody else might know an answer or know more than you do. And sometimes it's best just to listen sometimes, and then you can grasp your knowledge from before, or what you've collected, and add to the group. Because this is a foreign thing to me right now, but I'm learning more and more and more, and I understand more and more based on my research when you started speaking tonight. I like the motivational part of it. It gets my blood going, and allows me to continue on. So I don't want to keep everybody, but I just want to thank everyone for their input and for adding to my knowledge and my the notes that I had to take, that I have to research for before the next class. So thank you.
Excellent. So I'm going to answer your question, or you want to answer it, Mama Mia?
It is. Anytime
go ahead.
you have a trademark, you need to have a holding company. And the holding company does not have an EIN number attached to it. It should not be profiting. I need you to write that down. When you trademark a name, a logo, whatever, I mean, especially the name of the company. It's more the name of the company.
And copyrights too.
Yeah.
And you copyright your name and logo.
You attach it to a holding company that does not have an EIN, is not to be making money. The holding company that holds your trademarks should not be making money, should not be generating revenue, because it's a holding company.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Okay.
Myra, we're going to get that corrected, okay?
Okay.
Once it goes through, because it's in pending status now, right?
Yes, ma'am. I have to prove that I'm actually using the mark.
Correct.
And that's what's putting it in holding status. And when I started looking into trademarks, I apologize, I can update my volume, but
you're good.
When I actually started doing it, it held me up because I know I was missing something. So I didn't do anything that would make it look like I'm actually using it for business purposes. But my business is the same name, and so I do have a website, which I am selling stuff, but haven't sold anything yet. That's probably a good thing. Everything is there document wise, and it allowed me to do get into business credit and stuff like that. But actually, revenue wise, I haven't made any. So okay, maybe that's a good thing. I don't know.
We'll talk about it tomorrow. But your holding company, it should only be a hold if you are attaching a trademark to it.
Right.
Correct. And that holding company will be the business trust, and then that business trust is connected to the family trust.
Okay.
Family trust is connected
to the business trust. I could still keep that business name. I mean, that business name that I had, because if I sell it to my whatever the holding company is, right? I take my name away from it. So the holding company and the business.
So the business trust
and the trademark can still have the same name.
Yeah, it would be something different. So remember, each trust has a different purpose, right? So you would have a separate business trust designated to holding all of your trademarks, copyrights, your intellectual property, right? And whatever you name that business trust is whatever that you name it. Does that make sense? I wouldn't name it the same name that you're operating the businesses over.
Correct.
I wouldn't do that. I would have a separate business trust with a different name holding all of your intellectual property.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay, so I would have a separate business, and we can do it tomorrow. I don't hold up the class, the session, but a separate business trust. When I name the business trust, I won't name it my business name, which is actually the same name as my trust. So not my trust, my trademark. So I would have to come up with a whole different business name to hold both of those entities in.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Thank you. You were raising your hand. What's up?
Thank you.
Of course.
Just want to make sure I understood what you're saying. So if I'm trademarking AS Holding, that one should not holding company. That one should not have EIN, but the cleaning service and braiding cleaning company and braiding company both should have the EIN.
Okay, so I'm a revitalize what she said, right? And let me know if I'm following here as well, Mama Mia. The holding company, the one that's controlling the operating businesses, should have an EIN number.
The holding company, you have a separate holding company that holds your trademarks. This is
correct. So the one that's holding your braiding and your cleaning service, that holding company needs an EIN number because the businesses are going to be reporting to that holding company, reporting revenue to that holding company, right? I'm going to call it dividends so everybody can just for it to be simplified. Those businesses, the operating businesses, are going to be giving dividends to the holding company. And so the holding company is going to have some form of profit. So you're going to need an EIN number for that holding company, right? There's going to be a separate holding company that does not have an EIN number designated to holding all of your intellectual property. Does that make sense?
All right, I'm done now. That's what I needed, yeah.
Cool. All right.
When I heard Myra say that, I was like, oh, shoot. So that's what made me say something.
You're good. We have another question. C. Henson. Why do I know? I feel like I know you.
There ain't nobody for Chandra.
I'm about to say, why she do us like that? Like, why she put her name on here? Like, she trying to be private too.
Yeah. I like to keep my business to myself. So first I want to give my props. Then I'll go to my question. For those of you who have not moved into the credit repair space, I just want to report some of my numbers.
Oh, is that right?
Literally, and I have it in front of me because I'm tracking it. 11:30. I ain't gonna tell you what it was, but I'm gonna say on 12/12 for my.
Say what it was. Say what it was. This is about because this is your journey. Because when we get there's
all right
with family, there's nothing to be ashamed of.
Okay, so with Experian, I had a 436. On 12/12, I'm at 508, and it's not where I want to be, but that's 72 points in literally.
Let's clap that up.
12 days.
Let's clap that up.
Wait a minute, I ain't finished.
Oh, excuse. I'm sorry. My apology.
Then Equifax. Equifax, I had a 454. Now it's a 526. And then here we go, drum roll, please. TransUnion was 441. Now it's a 527. So that was 86 points in 12 days.
Dang. 12 days?
12 days. Because it was 11:30 and then I checked it 12/12.
That's crazy.
But this is the thing though. This is what I need for her to, and I wish the other girl was on here because
that might be a record.
No, because Sal's jumped up 155 points. He went.
I'm at the time frame.
No. Oh, okay. All right. Chandra took forever. And this is not to put her on blast. God dang it, is to put her on blast. It was her and Leslie, and Leslie was supposed to be on here tonight. And I said, you're going to stay in the same situation that you're in. You know, you can be on as many of our things that we do for free whenever you want. But until you make a commitment, you're not going to get any results to make a change. And so, and I'm like, Chandra, what is going on? I was just like, because I'm not going to beg you to be a part of the program. Okay. And we don't go out there blasting. Everybody's like, y'all like, don't be telling folks y'all doing stuff. We do, but we just don't be like flashy, like with money and stuff like that. That's not what we do, because it's about helping you and really changing your life. And I don't care what anybody says. It starts with credit. Anything that we're doing right now, we can't even get away from it as much as we want to. It starts with credit. and you are in slavery because your credit is jacked up. You can't do nothing.
Right.
And it's hurtful because you work every day and you can't even get credit because you work every day.
But guess what? You just went up in 12 days.
80 points.
That is a new record.
86.
Excuse me.
86.
Excuse me. Okay.
86. And we're just getting started. And so I need
30-day mark yet.
No, I haven't. No. That's not until 12/30 till New Year's basically.
We didn't even hit 2 weeks yet. Do you see what I'm saying? So in less than 2 weeks, you didn't win up 86 points.
I told her we were going to be aggressive. I said we need to be aggressive. We need to hurry up. And I'm glad that she's seeing that we're being aggressive.
Yes. And so I got some emails from you all last week, and I was like, is this what I'm supposed to do? So I wanted to talk to you, and we'll talk about that offline, because it said for me to go out and start applying. I was like, I don't think that's okay. But anyway, we'll talk about it later. But
I got stuff for you guys.
Okay. So back to my question, when y'all were talking about the holding company. So one holding company makes profit with the EIN. So I am a graphic artist. I hold, I do logos and designs for other people. Plus I have my own, plus my daughter and I are both in the entertainment business. We write songs, we do all that stuff. So do we want our songwriting, our graphics, do we want all of that in the intellectual properties, even though that's not necessarily, because see, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I don't sell my logos 100% out. I charge 1% in perpetuity, because I'm not gonna be the lady that's looking at Coca-Cola go down the street every day and I don't get a part of that.
Okay.
So
and do you mind if I chime in on that? Because I think that's super important in regards to intellectual property, right?
Okay, that's fine. I'm trying to get an understanding.
Yeah. I just want, that's a super important piece, because that deals with like family crest and stuff, right?
Yes, I do all of those.
Yeah. Anytime someone designed a logo, you do not have ownership.
That's right.
You do not have ownership. Just because they give you the logo legally, you do not have ownership. You have to, and if you don't mind, what's the agreement that you have to send if someone wants to actually purchase or get the rights? What's the agreement called?
It's a licensing agreement, and basically what I do, I on the licensing agreement, I come to agreement with the initial payment that they pay me, and then in the agreement it says that even if you sell your company, even if you someone wants to buy your brand, you can't sell my rights. I own my 1%. So if you're selling Coca-Cola, you can take Coca-Cola, but you're gonna still pay me that 1%. The next company is still gonna pay me the 1% in perpetuity, or they can come back to the table and renegotiate. But it's a licensing agreement.
That's what I wanted everyone to know.
Comment real quick. I did some work for Chicago Women in Trade, and I created a logo for them. Now, mind you, they don't have the licensing rights to that. I do. And Obama Center has purchased that. Has purchased everything. Yes, so Shonda, you know where I'm going. Mind you, this logo been on the Chicago Transit Authority, the CTA buses and everything in the Chicago area, surround everywhere. Trust and believe I will be calling in my money. Oh, I'm serious.
Absolutely.
I'm serious. Because they don't own that logo. I do. I do. And this is what protection is all about. What people don't understand. I own it. I created it. And I got the proof and the emails and the design ship and all that stuff. And they can never say that they own that logo.
1,000%.
All the rights. And this is how you guys have to protect yourself. Because you're sitting up here going out letting people do stuff for you, and you don't even get the stuff, and you don't own it. And like she said, she want her 1%. Well, I own the logo outright. Ain't that right, Chandra?
That's right. Because I want my children to get their 1%. Period.
And my mama sitting up here saying, hold on, don't do it. I was like, oh, trust and believe. As soon as the Obama Center opened, I made that logo. Hello, pay me. Seriously.
Chandra, I'm sorry. Go with your question. I'm sorry.
Oh no. I was just trying to understand. Because I am doing my 1% with my clients, do I put that into my intellectual property holding, or do I put that in my holding company and my music? So do I put my graphics and my music? I'm trying to make sure that I'm placing it in the right place, because I'm still making money off of those logos, those pieces of artwork.
The key thing that you said is you're still profiting. So if you're profiting, it needs to be in an operation holding company.
Okay. All right. Yes, absolutely.
All right, cool. Anybody else got any last remarks for the challenge, this event?
We have a question.
Yes.
We actually have a nonprofit as well. Does the nonprofit go under the holding company because it's still moving funds, even though it's by grant or donations? Where does that go?
Yeah, so remember I was talking about what's the purpose, right? So to answer your question in short, yes. What I would do is, how do I want to phrase this in a way that is digestible? The ministry trust is to help you. The purpose is to help you defer taxes, help you, the purpose is for you to be educational, charitable. It's like for charitable things, right? And for that purpose. But if a nonprofit can be up under a holding company, especially if you have multiple nonprofits. Does that make sense? It doesn't make sense for it to be in one ministry trust, right? So I've seen people have a ministry trust holding company and then have ministry trusts up under it. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
And they still have the ministry trust primarily at the top. So they have two purposes.
Gotcha.
But that's what I'm saying. It has to be a purpose. What is the purpose of each one?
Okay, gotcha. Yes, mahalo. Thank you.
You're welcome. That was a great question. Anything else? We got anything else? Last remarks? Y'all know I like to answer all questions before we close out. Y'all know me.
Tomorrow is going to be the same link.
Yes. Same link.
Thank you.
1000%. Great question. So
yeah.
Same link every day. Day 1, 2, and 3, you're going to have the same link, same time. Hop on. Tomorrow is going to be revolving around capital, getting funding. This is where my mom specializes in. She's gotten all of our mentees combined over $4.2 million in funding. So you want to talk to her.
Ooh, I like that.
Okay. You want to have, you think she's just a mother.
I got more than that. I just
she got some slight. You know what I'm saying? And I want to do a mental shift real quick on the call before we close out. Can everyone say only $4.2 million? Can y'all say that? Unmute yourselves. You gotta say it out loud though. Say it's just only
4.2
only 4.2 million.
4.2 stab.
Now.
You know what I'm saying? So and the key. 4.9. Excuse me. She's
4.9.
Ooh, she corrected me.
Correction.
Only 4.9.
And the key thing here, when you do is just only in whatever number, your mindset shifts. You don't view it as, oh, that's expensive. Oh, that's too much. Oh, you view it as, oh, I can afford that. Oh, this is something that I can have. That's nothing serious. Do you see what I'm saying? So like anytime you all see something in the store or you purchase something and your first mind says, oh, that's too expensive, immediately switch it and say, oh, it's just $100. Oh, it's just $300. And so your mind will make a mental shift. And what will happen is the universe will align with that, right? Does that make sense? And I've seen that shift personally. So I just wanted to put that out there. So yeah, day 2 is about funding. She's going to show you everything about funding. Personal credit, business credit, family credit. Because y'all thought today was crazy. Just come tomorrow. Be early. Pen and pad ready, okay? So Appreciate everyone. It is 11:18. I feel like if we continue, it's going to be 1 a.m. Thank you, everyone, for being on here. We will catch you all tomorrow, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And thank you so much. And you all have an amazing night, okay?